will now play the rival and undefeated Steelers on Tuesday night at Pittsburgh. At least 12 Ravens players have tested positive for COVID-19, including reigning MVP Lamar Jackson. ESPN's Jeremy Fowler on the Steelers' approach to this game.
They'd probably rather play it now, even if it's a day or two after, than have to play at Week 18. You know, especially if this is a team that could go 16-0. You don't want to have to play the Ravens right before the playoffs. It just doesn't make a lot of sense for them.
In other NFL news, the Bears will start Mitchell Trubisky at quarterback on Sunday night against the Packers at Lambeau. Nick Foles has an injured hip. Chicago looking to avoid a fifth straight loss. Dolphins quarterback Tua Tagovailoa questionable for Sunday's game at the Jets with a left thumb injury. College football, number 19 North Carolina leads second-ranked Notre Dame 7-0 in the first quarter on ABC. In the fourth quarter, 24th-ranked Iowa leads Nebraska 26-20. And number 13 Iowa State with a 23-20 victory at 17th-ranked Texas. Breece Hall game-winning touchdown run late for the Cyclones.
It's Jordan Cornette, Keyshawn J. Will, and Zubin back on Monday, recapping Sunday Night Football as the Bears look to get back into the NFC North hunt. Keyshawn J. Will, and Zubin, Monday, 6 a.m. Eastern on ESPN Radio.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios.
That's right.
And off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar. And Matt.
This is Shaq O'Neal, and I hate Matt.
Paul O'Neal.
They're chanting Paul O'Neal's name.
Muso. And Mr. Toby Tomplay. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Hope you all had an awesome Thanksgiving. Hope you're enjoying Black Friday. If you got the day off, congrats. That's awesome, man. Put your feet up, watch some football, hang out with us, turn up the radio or the TV if you're with us here on CST. And glad you're hanging out for the next 3 hours. Man, we got a ton to get to. A lot of newsy items that we've got to get to here over the next 3 hours, including the fact that the Denver Broncos have had another positive tests within their organization. So we're going to go to Denver next hour to get the absolute latest there, because theoretically that could compromise the Saints game in Denver on Sunday. So Jeff Driscoll, we found out, was positive yesterday on Thanksgiving, and now we found out another player and a couple of staffers have tested positive as well. So Denver shut down their facility today, and they're going to conduct everything virtually. As of now, Saints-Broncos is still on as scheduled. So as we move through the afternoon, if we have anything latest there with the Broncos, we'll certainly let you know. But it's all on as of right now. And as for LSU, a little bit of breaking news today that, listen, if you've listened to AFR for the last month, we've basically told you this was the case. Maybe some influential birdies whispering in my ear. I don't know. But we told you the way that this was going to play out with LSU and Alabama was that they were going to move the game, the LSU-Bama game, to December the 5th, and then move the LSU-Ole Miss game to December the 19th. Well, that news started percolating today. A lot of people had it. Ross Dellinger over at SI had it. I know The Advocate had it. So a lot of folks had that today, and the SEC has now confirmed that that is the plan, that they have revised the football schedule for December the 5th, which means LSU and Alabama are going to play now December the 5th. Arkansas, Missouri will also play December the 5th, and they'll reschedule 3 other games originally scheduled for that date to maintain the opportunity for everybody to play 10 games in the SEC this year. So a few things, because actually there was some sort of scuttlebutt from the Ole Miss side that was really ticked about this, saying basically that the SEC is just, protecting Alabama and the networks and not so much worried about Ole Miss. And that's just not the case. So let me walk through really a lot of the thought process behind this decision-making. So what you have here primarily is 14 SEC schools trying to make sure they get 10 games for every league member. The SEC said that in their release, and that's true. For a lot of reasons, wanting every game to be played matters. Obviously, for the home teams in those games, you want the gate revenue. You want whatever revenue you can generate from a home game. For the SEC and for the networks, it matters because if you are the TV partners, you want every television window filled for very obvious reasons. Networks want content. They need content. You got to fill 24 hours a day, and the most valuable asset any has is live sports, and especially when you're the SEC, you get it. So you have 10 games for 14 schools, conference only. That's 70 games across the SEC network partners, and they want all 70 of those played. The networks clearly do. The league obviously does as well because you're going to get the revenue from playing those 70 conference games and filling every window. And that's not just revenue for the league, but all the league partners, meaning, yes, you, the school, the athletic department of all the member institutions. So for a lot of those reasons, it makes sense that you want to play every single game. And I would point to you as well if you're thinking, oh, well, it was just the league trying to accommodate Alabama. Y'all, they moved Tennessee and Vanderbilt this week as well. That game wasn't going to be in any way affected, but Arkansas had positive tests, so their game against Missouri couldn't go on. So the league said, okay, well, here's how we can shuffle it. You can play Vanderbilt and Missouri this week. Tennessee can have the day off, and then you can move that game to the 19th. And so everybody can play. And it works, and it's going to work. And they figured a way to continue shuffling, but they didn't want to make this announcement yet until they knew for sure that every game scheduled this weekend was going to be played. Well, now they know that based on the number of positive tests or negative tests that have been out there, that they are going to be able to play a full schedule tomorrow as currently scheduled. There's a few other reasons why this makes a lot of sense. If you're LSU, you obviously want this game played, and you want the Ole Miss game played as well. Because in this year, where you were only going to have 5 home games, and remember, LSU lost 1 home game to Columbia, Missouri, you're only going to have 4. Well, Bama's up in the air. Now you're talking about moving Ole Miss. LSU wants to play these games because you need the revenue. I mean, we all know the numbers. LSU's projecting an $80 million budgetary shortfall. If you have the chance to play 2 more home games against Bama and Ole Miss, you play them to generate whatever revenue you can. So that feels very obvious in this whole setting right now. So that's another part of why this shuffle works. And then the bigger picture idea here is, and you've heard us say this several times, but it's about data points. It's about data points for the College Football Playoff Selection Committee. The committee is going to consider whatever information that they have, right? The committee is going to consider the games that are played. Look at the first rankings that came out this week, where you had Ohio State undefeated and ranked 4th behind one-loss Clemson. Well, Clemson's played twice as many games as Ohio State. It's one of the things that's going to hurt, we've talked about all along, the Pac-12, only playing 6 games, and in some cases fewer than that. And then in the Big Ten, obviously, where they don't have any flexibility to make up games, Ohio State's already had 1 game canceled, so a max of 7. That could end up hurting them. If you're the SEC and you're looking big picture of how do we get multiple teams in the playoff and throughout the whole the New Year's 6, data points matter. I mean, what if we get into a situation where a lot of people are pointing out Notre Dame? What if Notre Dame and Clemson are both undefeated or both go into the ACC championship game and Clemson beats Notre Dame? Well, do you take a 1-loss Notre Dame, or do you take who just lost its conference championship game, or do you take a, say, 9-1 technically or theoretically Texas A&M team, a team that's played 10 games? Do you take that team, that 9-1 Texas A&M team, or do you take a Cincinnati team which is playing in the American Athletic Conference? You're going to have more data points the more games you play. So the SEC wants to play every single game possible and every single game scheduled. So and look, to those that are arguing that this is benefiting Alabama, quite the contrary, actually. When you look at the fact that, as it presently stands, Bama would have December the 12th open. They'd have an open date before the SEC championship. This means the Alabama-Arkansas game moves from the 5th to the 12th, so that way there is no open date before the championship game for Bama. So Bama and Florida both have to play the week before they play each other in the SEC championship game. So there's so many variables considered why it makes sense and why the SEC is trying to shuffle things. They want to make sure every single game is played, and they're going to rearrange however they can with whatever flexibility they have. And, of course, this means you're going to have a pretty full schedule on December the 19th, the day of the SEC championship game. You're going to have a full schedule of games that day as well to make all of these dates work, but they're going to get them in. So LSU, Alabama, it'll be next Saturday in Tiger Stadium, and LSU Ole Miss is going to move to December the 19th, barring some other unforeseen change between now and then. All right, it's After Further Review. We're glad you're with us. Friday show is brought to you by Don Juan Cigar Bar in Town Center. No Terrio today. Actually, we are going to have Terrio for his letter, I understand, but that's it. His son Houston has a playoff game today, so Terrier's going to call in for his letter. That'll be it for the day, but we're loaded up with a ton of other conversation. Glad to have you aboard with us here. Let me knock out a break. We'll go around the SEC, bottom of the hour. We'll talk to our friend Sean Fazende of Fox 8 in New Orleans. He's scheduled to be on a flight to Denver tomorrow. We'll get the latest on that and preview the Saints-Broncos with Sean Fazende in about 15 minutes from right now. Glad you're here on a Friday edition of AFR.
AFR.
AFR is brought to you by Insurance Network of Louisiana. They're online at lainsurance.net, lainsurance.net. Better coverage for less money. That's what they are for you at Insurance Network of Louisiana. It's easy. You give them a call at 293-0450, 293-0450. This process, I've explained it before, could not be simpler. 293-0450. They take a little bit of information about your present coverage, and then they go shop. See, Insurance Network of Louisiana has relationships with dozens of the top-rated companies in the world. So what that means is they take your information, then they go shop and say, okay, what company can offer the Smiths better coverage than what they presently have? Basically, all of these people are bidding to compete for your business, and you win. I went through this process, and you can as well. It is easy, and it is free. The worst thing that can happen is they come back and say, the coverage you have now is perfect. Stick with that. 293-0450, 293-0450, or lainsurance.net, lainsurance.net.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Toyotathon is happening now at Corval Toyota in Opelousas.
Get into a 20 Camry for $297 a month.
So come on down to Happy Town for Toyotathon. That's Corval Toyota in Opelousas.
Happy Town, USA.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
To all of our heroes working on the front lines of this COVID-19 pandemic, your bravery and selflessness represent the very best of us, and we want to say thank you. I'm asking everyone around the state to join me in celebrating the heroism of our healthcare professionals on the 19th of every month at 1900 hours, that's 7 p.m. Write a note of appreciation, make plans to donate to charitable organizations, or say a prayer. To learn more, visit 19thanks.org. Thank you, and God bless.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers, offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as the bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
If I built a van, it would do more than haul.
It would carry my entire business. I'd make it available in dozens, if not thousands of configurations.
It would keep an eye on my fleet.
And an eye out for danger.
If I built a van, I'd make it available in diesel and gas. And I'd build it right here in South Carolina.
Introducing the all-new Sprinter, starting at $33,790. Built in the USA. Mercedes-Benz. Vans. Born to run.
Hey, T-Bob, sports wouldn't be the same without the die-hard fans, so we're highlighting the fans that do it the most.
Every week, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge brings you the Citizens Bank Fan of the Week. Check it out, 104.5.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Keeping an eye on North Carolina and Notre Dame. It's a pretty significant game for those watching the college football playoff. UNC leading 14-7. Notre Dame's just scored to tie it up. So massively important, obviously, if Notre Dame were to lose here. That would certainly cost the ACC any opportunity at getting two teams in the playoff, for any idea that Notre Dame and Clemson could both potentially make it. So North Carolina, though, trying to pull the upset, but it looks like we're going to have a 14-all tie here. One quick recruiting note. We'll go around the SEC, and then we'll talk some Saints with Sean Fazende of Fox 8 New Orleans here in about 13 minutes. I saw this from our friend Shay Dixon at Go 24/7 that LSU's jumped in the mix for Jordan Moko, who is from Australia. He's the number one JUCO offensive tackle in the country. 6'5", 335. Here's the kicker. He's only played football for 1 year. He was playing in for the Brisbane Rhinos in Australia, and then he signed with Snow College in Ephraim, Utah. So he's going to come to the States to try to make his way from JUCO and then to four-year college and maybe to the NFL. Well, the JUCO season was pushed back to spring of 2021, so he hadn't even played yet, only for the Brisbane Rhinos. That's it. 1 year, Brisbane Rhinos. That's all. And he's ranked the number one JUCO offensive tackle in the country, and LSU's in the mix. So are a lot of other big-name schools. I mean, you just look through the list. Tennessee and Texas and all of them, they're all after him or have all been interested. Florida, Oregon, Utah, Cal. I think anyone that's watched LSU this year recognizes the offensive line's a problem. But just say it flatly, they're bad. That's not a good unit. They've struggled to protect. They've struggled to run block. They're just not very good. And I think, listen, there have been plenty of JUCO players that have made a major impact at LSU. Ali Gay right now is a JUCO kid. Zach Mettenberger came from a junior college. You know, Demetrius Byrd was a JUCO. I mean, LSU's had a lot over the years of guys that have come in from junior colleges that made an impact. And if you're Ed Ogeron, you absolutely leave no stone unturned. You go and find the best players you could possibly find to impact your program, especially at a position of need like on the offensive line. But this can't be your answer. I mean, I'll run through the history of LSU recruiting JUCO offensive linemen. I went back today and looked up all the way, starting with the beginning of the Les Miles era. LSU has signed 4 junior college offensive linemen since the beginning of the Les Miles era. Fahoko Fanaika, who started just 3 games in his career. Javante DeMond, who didn't play at all. Badara Traore, who I think we could all agree was a disappointment. They signed him as the number one JUCO offensive tackle, thinking he was going to be a plug-and-play starter, and he just wasn't. And then Damian Lewis. Damian Lewis obviously became a starter and was draft pick starting as a rookie in the NFL. Like, he's the one that absolutely hit. But for me, the bigger thing here for LSU, you have got to develop your talent. That's the bigger thing. It's not go find this JUCO kid from Australia who's going to change the entire complexion of your offensive line. And yes, I hope they get Tristan Lee, 5-star. They've already got the kid Garrett Dellinger from Michigan committed, who's 5-star. Potentially those are your bookend tackles. But look, man, you've got Cam Wire, Dare Rosenthal, Chase and Hines all playing right now, and none of the three are actually playing really well. On top of that, people keep asking every day, what's up with Cardell Thomas, former 5-star who hadn't made a lick of an impact in his time in Baton Rouge. Anthony Bradford, Charles Turner, now Martinez and Hill. You got to develop the guys you have. You've recruited bodies there. Now, how about you make those guys productive? Instead of thinking, the next great guy is going to be this, this one-year wonder Australian kid who's going to come in and play, and maybe he will, and maybe he'd be all SEC and an All-American and go on and have a great NFL career. Maybe or maybe not. But the bigger issue right now is, why haven't guys who have been here, why aren't they performing better? Why aren't you getting more from Chase and Hines? Why as a 4-year starter, is Austin Decula struggling this year? Why are Cam Wire and Dare Rosenthal not elevating their game like you would expect they would? Why, when Ed Ogeron in the offseason says Anthony Bradford is the best offensive lineman they have, can he not even get on the field? That's the bigger problem for this team right now, is you've got players, you've got talent, you've got star ratings, you've got numbers. You got to develop the talent you have. So listen, if this kid from Australia, Jordan Moko, picks LSU and he's 6'5", 335, awesome, man. Maybe he's a guy that does come in and becomes a super impact player and guy, and that's awesome if he is. But the bigger issue for LSU is developing the talent that they have on campus right now and making those guys into premier linemen so you can fix this thing. Because I'm going to tell you what, man, you're going to get an up-close and personal look tomorrow at a really good offensive line. A line that's pacing a running game that's rushing for about 180 yards a game. A line that's given up 2 sacks all year. All right, it's after further review. We'll talk LSU, Texas A&M. Billy Liucci will be with us in hour 3. We'll preview the game there. I'll get you a pick on it. I know what everybody said all week, and we've talked about it as well. There's not a ton of reason to be optimistic about this game for LSU, and that's a bummer. I hope that this team puts together its best outing of the year. I hope they play their best game of the year. Maybe you catch A&M on a down day and you end up playing a push and shove type ball game, and it comes down to the fourth quarter. Maybe you can make a play and go win it. Doesn't feel like that's really realistic, though, for LSU. We can hope for it. All right, it's after further review. We're brought to you by South Point Volkswagen, southpointvw.com. New and certified pre-owned in Baton Rouge and online at southpointvw.com, southpointvw.com. Remember, if you're not looking to buy new, I was talking to my cousin yesterday at Thanksgiving. He said, yeah, man, I'm done. I'll never buy a new vehicle again. It's like, but I am actually looking for a truck. I was like, man, look up South Point Volkswagen. I had another friend 2 Fridays ago who went by South Point and bought a certified pre-owned truck at South Point Volkswagen. You trade in your vehicle to buy a new vehicle. It means their certified pre-owned inventory is really very exceptional. So check them out at South Point Volkswagen, southpointvw.com. South Point Volkswagen, what's your direction? All right, we do it every day about this time. Let's go around the SEC.
Around the SEC, presented by Gulf Coast Office Products, excellence in imaging solutions. The Vanderbilt Commodores.
Sarah Fuller is poised to become the first female player to play in a Power 5 football game when Vandy plays at Missouri in an SEC contest on Saturday. Fuller made the trip to Missouri. She will be dressed out for the game. So if she sees action on Saturday, she'll become the first female player to play in a Power 5 game. Fuller is a senior goalkeeper for Vanderbilt's soccer team, and she will have a sticker on the back of her helmet that reads, "Play Like a Girl," promoting a nonprofit organization supporting women in sports. So good luck to her. One of only 2 women have played football at the FBS level. Katie Haneda played at New Mexico, and April Goss played at Kent State. But we're going to see history tomorrow with Sarah Fuller suiting up for Vanderbilt against Missouri.
The South Carolina Gamecocks.
Carolina could be inching closer to hiring its new football coach. Oklahoma assistant head coach for offense Shane Beamer will interview for the Carolina coaching vacancy. Strong candidate for the job. Beamer is the son of Frank Beamer and was South Carolina's recruiting coordinator in 2009 and 2010. He's been endorsed by former Carolina running back Marcus Lattimore and defensive end Melvin Ingram, as well as other Carolina greats. Beamer's 43, played at Virginia Tech, coached there under his father after leaving South Carolina. But again, Shane Beamer interviewing for the South Carolina head coaching job.
The Arkansas Razorbacks.
Georgia safety Jaden Johnson has committed to Arkansas. 6'2", 200-pounder. He's the 20th commit for the Hogs class of 2021. Johnson originally committed to South Carolina, but then backed off when Will Muschamp was fired. Has scholarship offers from Oklahoma, Ole Miss, Kansas State, Georgia Tech, Virginia. 3-star target. Never visited Arkansas's campus. Never visited South Carolina, for that matter, either. He's the number 39 athlete in the nation.
The Auburn Tigers.
And Drew Timme had 28 and 10. Corey Kispert scored 25. Top-ranked Gonzaga Bulldogs crushed Auburn today, 90-67 down in Fort Myers. Alan Flanagan scored 20 to lead Auburn. Auburn's replacing all 5 starters from a year ago. It's going to be that kind of year for Bruce Pearl's squad. Bulldogs led by as many as 17 in the first half. The margin went as high as 30. Auburn plays at Central Florida on Monday. All right, there you have it. That is Around the SEC, presented by Gulf Coast Office Products. Shout out to our guy, Trey Beal, and our friends Gulf Coast Office Products online at gcopnet.com, gcopnet.com for Gulf Coast Office Products. Appreciate Trey Beal and all the great people over at Gulf Coast Office Products with offices in Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Mandeville, and Lafayette. Gulf Coast Office Products. I mentioned Sarah Fuller, the place kicker that's going to play for Vanderbilt tomorrow. So she's going to have a Play Like a Girl decal on the back of her helmet. Can you get that, Paul? So there's the sticker, and the Vanderbilt helmets are awful. It's the one with the Nashville skyline on the back, which is hideous. So, but across the base of the helmet on the back, she'll have Play Like a Girl. And apparently that there's a non-profit initiative, and if you go follow her Twitter account, and she's at Sarah Fuller, she links the Twitter at I Play Like a Girl and the website iplaylikeagirl.org. Apparently, this is a nonprofit that encourages girls to play sports and get exposure to STEM opportunities. So, a really cool thing, man. Some have rolled their eyes, and I just think that that's silly. I'll pull for her tomorrow and hope it works out, man. It's really cool to get to see history, and good on her. I mean, Vanderbilt's terrible. They're 0-7. They're not going to win tomorrow. They're not going to win a game this year. But that feels less relevant than the history that we're going to witness tomorrow with Sarah Fuller becoming the first female to play in a Power 5 football game. So she is Vanderbilt's place kicker for the game tomorrow. They had a grad transfer who opted out of the season, and then they've had an injury, and so they have no option. And so they went to the soccer team and recruited Sarah Fuller over, and now she's going to kick for Vanderbilt tomorrow, which is pretty cool. The question is, can Vanderbilt get in a position to score so they can actually let her take the field, maybe kick a PAT or a field goal? But nonetheless, good luck to her. All right, it's after further review. Glad you're hanging out with us here. Quick break. Sean Fazende, Fox 8 New Orleans. He will join us when we come back. Next, talk some Saints-Broncos. Stick around. It's AFR.
AFR.
AFR is brought to you by Carriages in Bocage, carriagesbr.com. Black Friday, and the specials are going down right now at Carriages in Bocage. They opened up at 9 a.m. They'll be open until 6 tonight, and everything in the store is 25% off. Everything in the store is 25% off. I'll say it again. Everything in the store is 25% off. They've got other specials running, like select ties are buy one, get one free. Select True Grit fleeces are 50% off. Of course, the True Grit fleece is one of the most popular items every year this time of year. The True Grit fleece, again, buy one, get one. All are 50% off. Ties, buy one, get one free. And everything in the store is 25% off. If it's dress shirts, quarter zips, vests, shoes, everything, 25% off. And did I mention they're carrying the sale through Saturday? At Carriages in Bocage, everything 25% off.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
Choose your fighter. Dax, 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 Dax with antioxidant vitamin C.
Given the choice, why wouldn't you choose the one with antioxidant vitamin C? Choose Vizzy Hard Seltzer.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Ochsner.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
Service Mastery Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact Service Mastery Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. Service Mastery Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
T-Bob Hebert here with breaking news. Front to Back Boat Services is the shop to upgrade your boat tech this fall. With not one but two NMEA certified techs, who better to install your Panoptic sonar, your HD displays. You want to see the fish under the water before you even cast? They have that. Trolling motor you could control with your iPhone? They have that. So what are you waiting for? Get into Front to Back Boat Services right now. Upgrade your boat tech. Make your boating dreams come true. Front to Back Boat Services.
Toyotathon is happening now at Corval Toyota in Opelousas.
Get into a 20 Camry for $297 a month.
So come on down to Happy Town for Toyotathon. That's Corval Toyota in Opelousas.
Happy Town, USA.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
All right, Saints-Broncos Sunday from Denver. So we think Denver had another positive test. Jeff Driscoll on Thursday, and then we found out Deontay Spencer is the second player who tested positive on Friday morning. A couple of staffers apparently testing positive as well. So what does that mean for Saints-Broncos? Sean Fazende, our friend from Fox 8, he's supposed to be on a plane tomorrow morning to Denver. Sean, thanks for the time, man. You going to hop that plane or what?
As of now, yes. I just checked with the Saints about an hour ago, and they believe the game is still on. Sean Payton just met with the media. They're rolling with the assumption that the game is still on until I prove otherwise. My flight's at 7 a.m., so as of now, I plan to be on it.
All right, so Sean Payton met with the media, as you mentioned, just wrapped up just a few minutes ago. What, if anything, did he say about the game itself and the situation with Denver?
Yeah, he just said that that's the 2020 season. He's just going to focus on what he can control. And look, they dealt with this with a positive test midweek, if you recall, a couple weeks back with Emmanuel Sanders, and they were able to get the contact tracing and were able to, separate him enough and have enough players to obviously play the game. And as you recall, Detroit, there was the Michael Burton fiasco where there was a positive test late Saturday night into Sunday morning. Then they found out it was a false positive So they know how to kind of manage these situations and navigate these situations. So here they are. It's Friday. The game plan is in, and they're just going to roll with the idea that the game is on. And he said something interesting that, there's the question of should they shift to a hard bubble, now they've entered this last part of the season. And he said, ironically, on the road, it's actually more of a hard bubble because the hotels are just them, wherever they're staying, with the exception of Las Vegas back in week 2. Every other hotel is just them. So it's actually a little bit easier for them on the road as opposed to being at home in certain situations. So they're going to go with it as planned. Saturday or Sunday at 3 o'clock, they'll play the Broncos until told otherwise.
That's right. I forgot about what happened in Detroit, and yet players. Alvin Kamara was one of the players testing at like 3 in the morning, so they barely slept. Had to get up for a noon game, so that won't be this. What about obviously the challenge on field in Denver against the Broncos? Sean, it's so odd because this is a matchup that's only happened 11 times in history. Saints are 2-9 all time against Denver. What do you make of the lack of familiarity, which is such an about face from last week, where you're playing Atlanta, a team that you play twice a year every year?
Yeah, it's always interesting because it makes it an uncommon opponent. It makes it, like you said, you're not as familiar with that team. And then you add in the fact that historically the Saints have not done well against the Broncos, period, and have never done well at this stadium or in this city. I think 1994 Christmas Eve was the only time they've ever won in Denver. So there is something to them not being, it's an uncommon opponent to be. You're going to a very unique place to play. At the elevation, you got to be hydrated. I remember back in 2012 when I went there, how just out of breath and out of shape it felt like the Saints players were just being at the Broncos Stadium there. So it certainly is something to be mindful of. But I do think there's something you gotta be prepared for, but you can't let it overwhelm you in the preparation. It's just another factor you have to prepare for, much like anything they would do on the field. So they'll prepare for that. They said they've been hydrating all week. They didn't go up a day early. Said they're going to go up Saturday. Sean Payton said, to really get acclimated, you would need 10 days, and that's obviously not something that's doable within the NFL season. And then on the field, you're talking about a team that's been up and down, obviously, more downs than ups. But defensively, it's a very unique defense. They run that 3-4. Fangio's got a strong connection to New Orleans. Coached the Dome Patrol back in the late 80s, early 90s. So it's just an uncommon opponent that they're just going to do their best to prepare for.
Does Vic Fangio's defense present a different challenge this week than what the Falcons did a week ago against Taysom Hill?
Yeah, well, there's two things. There's tape now, right? Taysom Hill's played a game, so you can somewhat prepare offense on one game, but you can, if you're a team preparing for the Saints, you now have at least a game to look at and prepare off of, and that was the tape, obviously, of Atlanta. And I kind of felt like Atlanta played a little soft zone-ish, kind of, just a little bit, but it felt like they were trying to keep Taysom bottled up and keep everything in front of them. I could see Vic Fangio being more of an attack style, giving a lot of odd front, blitzing from certain areas, and really trying to hasten or quicken, Taysom Hill's decision-making once he, pre-snap and post-snap. So there's going to be some different looks, I'm sure. There's going to throw a few blitzes at him as well. And they've got a great pass rusher, obviously, in Chubb. The pass defense has done pretty well. I think they're in the top 10 in sacks in the NFL, if I'm not mistaken, maybe 7 or 8. So I do think it's going to look different. It's not going to be the Falcons. It's going to be a much different defense.
Sean Fazende, he's on Twitter, at Sean Fazende. Y'all give him a follow. At Sean Fazende Fox 8, on Twitter. At Sean Fazende Fox 8 from Fox 8 in New Orleans. Will be in Denver for the game on Sunday. On the other side of the ball, what about Denver's offense with Drew Lock? I know that's obviously been a little bit of a revolving door this year due to different circumstances, but what about this Saints defense against that Denver offense?
Well, here's the one thing I think that's going to happen, regardless of circumstances within the game, unless it's crazy early on. And if you go back and watch, the Saints have the second best run defense in the NFL, but if you go back and watch, teams are giving up on the run like midway through the second quarter. I don't think that's going to happen this week with Denver. They rely on that run game. They use that run game. They got Gordon and Lindsey, two good backs in the NFL. So I think the Saints are going to get probably a steady dose of that run game. So, there's no secret. Everything else they do comes off of that run game. Drew Lock has been up and down. I think he's, 57, 58% completion percentage. Obviously not great. So I do think for the Saints, it's really it all stops and starts with, stopping that run. And if you can do that, you can probably have a pretty good handle on this game as a whole.
It seems like somewhat of an obvious and maybe stupid question, but the importance of this game, obviously you're not talking about a divisional game or a conference game with tiebreakers, but for New Orleans, how big is this game to go on the road and get this win on Sunday?
Yeah, I think it'd be huge. You got to keep pace in the NFC. You obviously have that 1 seed. But, this would be Taysom Hill's first start on the road. It's the first of 3 straight road games. You're going to a place you've never really won. Sean Payton's never won there as head coach at the Saints. So it's a unique experience. There's going to be some different factors being played up already with, I just mentioned the elevation, but also the COVID-19 situation with Denver. So there's a lot of different factors going into this game. So I think it would be huge to go in on the road, take care of business, and then get on to Atlanta next week. I think it would be, I think they're better than the Broncos, but that does not mean it's going to be an easy game.
Sean, before you go, I know the Saints just 5 minutes ago or so released their latest injury report. Andrews Pete and Ty Montgomery are out, and Deontay Harris questionable. Give me a thought here on what that means on the offensive line, obviously with Pete out, and then maybe in the return game with Deontay Harris questionable.
Yeah, and we'll start with the return game. It will probably end up being Marquez Callaway. He's been getting some looks at the return position with Deontay Harris. So that's a big if he's not out. I mean, if he's out, he's questionable, because you go back and look at the differential in punt return yardage from the Saints and their opponent, how much of a discrepancy that is, how much the Saints have dominated that stat and really helped with field position. Offensive line, at this point, can we even call Nick Easton a reserve? I mean, he's really, and even with everyone healthy, he's probably one of their top 5 linemen. I know they're trying to work, Ruiz in, so I think they're good there. But it will be something to watch with that return game, just because Deontay Harris has been such a force back there, both punt and kickoff. He is Sean Fazende. Y'all follow him on Twitter at Sean Fazende Fox 8. He will be in Denver, we presume, taking off tomorrow morning to fly out to Denver for the game on Sunday. Sean, thanks for the time as always, man. Belated happy Thanksgiving to you and yours. Happy Thanksgiving. Thanks, bro. Okay, man. It's After Further Review. Glad to have you hanging out with us here. We will go to Denver. Brandon Christall covers the Broncos for KOA Radio out in Denver. He'll be with us about 45 minutes from right now, so we'll flip it and get a view from the other sideline, what's going on there in Denver with them shutting down the facility today. How confident are they in this ball game, the matchup? We'll get to all that about 45 minutes from right now. Tomorrow is a football Saturday, and of course, on Fridays, we have our Football Friday Tailgate segment. So what are we cooking up? We'll find out. Our friend Tressie Leindecker from Chris's Specialty Foods. She'll be in studio with us. Jay Ducote's got the Friday off, so Tressie will step in and tell us what we're cooking tomorrow before the Tigers and the Aggies. Glad you're here with us on a Friday edition of AFR, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar. Stick around.
AFR.
AFR is brought to you by Darren James & Associates, powered by eXp Realty. Every home listed by every company all in one place. Agent225.com. Agent225.com. If you need to sell your home, call Darren James and get your home sold. Commercial or residential, buying or selling. Think real estate. Think Darren James. Go to the website, agent225.com. Tap Our Listings at the top of the page, and you'll see all of the homes listed by Darren and his company. Like this one on Alderley Lane in Denham, $259,900. Great curb appeal. Lac Cache Court in Baton Rouge, $385,000. 3-bedroom, 2.5-bathroom, 3,500 square feet. Gorgeous. Check it out right now at agent225.com. Remember, if you need to sell your home, call the realtor that sells more homes than anyone. Call the realtor that has the systems and the processes in place to get your home sold faster for more money. Call Darren James and get your home sold. 335-7666. 335-7666. Think real estate. Think Darren James.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
You may not know about the 4Kids Foundation, but you've probably heard of the Zurich Classic. And the Zurich Classic exists because of 4 kids. But it's what happens after the tournament that really counts. 100% of the proceeds are donated by the 4Kids Foundation to hundreds of local charities, totaling more than $40 million, all to help local children and families in need. 4Kids helps kids through golf, because every child deserves a shot at a brighter future.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers, offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as the bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
If I built a van, it would do more than haul.
It would carry my entire business. I'd make it available in dozens, make not thousands of configurations.
It would keep an eye on my fleet.
Get an eye out for danger.
If I built a van, I'd make it available in diesel and gas. And I'd build it right here in South Carolina.
Introducing the all-new Sprinter, starting at $33,790. Built in the USA. Mercedes-Benz. Vans. Born to run.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
All right, it's Football Friday edition of AFR. Glad you are with us. Normally it is Jay Ducote standing next to me. However, Jay has the day off, so Tressie Leindecker from Chris's Specialty Foods, good enough to jump aboard with us. This is becoming a regular thing with us. How are you?
Yeah, I'm loving seeing you every Friday.
How was Thanksgiving?
It was awesome. We stayed very, very busy, but a lot to be thankful for, so it was a good year.
No doubt. You and your family, were you able, I know you said you worked, but were you able to have family time? Were you able to have family dinner and everything?
We did. We opened till about noon to let everyone come get their last-minute stuff, and then yesterday evening we had family over. Yeah. How about we do this?
There you go.
Now I can hear you. We had the family over last night, so yeah, we did get together.
All right, so normally in this segment, we eat the competition, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if it's Florida, we're talking about eating gator. And if it's, I don't know, if it's, what else could we eat? Auburn, we do chicken. And Arkansas, we do pork. I mean, right? All that makes sense. When you're talking about Texas A&M, like, we're not going to eat dog and we're not going to eat people. So I figured, like, what if we went sort of a Texas angle with the tailgate segment today? So if people come into Chris's Specialty Foods and they're thinking, all right, Texas style, I pose this to you as like Texas style, what are we cooking?
Yeah, so when I think Texas, I think beef, brisket, maybe some ribs. So today what I brought you is one of the most popular sausages that we have in the store is a brisket sausage. It is phenomenal. Brought you some baby back ribs, as well as a brisket stuffed with sausage.
Brisket stuffed with sausage?
So we took the brisket, we laid it out, we thinned it out, stuffed it with a pork sausage, and then netted it up.
How do you do that? That's crazy. So you stuffed the that's that one right there, or is that the ribs?
No, move over just a little. It's hard. It's hard to see because it's wrapped.
No, you're good.
Yeah, it's.
So, by the way, and so that's it right there.
That's it.
Okay, so and it's frozen and vacuum sealed. So when people come and buy this at Chris's, you're just reheating, right? No other preparation needs to be done.
Well, right. So it's raw. We've prepared everything, seasoning and so forth. So all you have to do is just either put it in the oven or put it on the pit, but it's ready to go.
So my point is you don't need to add any other seasoning or anything to it. Just take it as is, cook it up, and you're ready to roll.
Yep.
So you take all the guesswork out of this.
Absolutely.
So explain to me again, a sausage stuffed brisket?
Yeah.
So you take, what kind of sausage is it?
We did pork sausage in this one. We actually also have brisket that's stuffed with onions, bell peppers, and garlic, and then we have another one that we can stuff with boudin. So again, we just take the brisket, we thin it out, lay it out, almost like like we stuff everything at Chris's. Put some sausage in it, roll it up, and then put some netting around it.
Why are you trying to kill me? That's amazing. What is this dish right here? It's like, is that in the dish right there?
So I brought you two sides. I brought you some mac and cheese. That's my favorite. And then I brought you some twice baked potatoes.
So in all the years that I've shopped at Chris's, I don't think I've ever had the mac and cheese. So what's the story? I'm serious.
Oh,
I've gotten steaks there forever, and then you've turned me on to some other, like the sausage, obviously, and then the some of the pork that, like the pork fillet we did last week.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Anyway, so what's up with the mac and cheese?
So mac and cheese is probably one of our most popular, probably second to the cream spinach. But we do our mac and cheese with tons of cheeses, and we have some fresh onions in there. It's a great thick pasta.
So people want to. So let's talk about how many people. So people are having like a game watch tomorrow. Okay, so 6:00, LSU, Texas A&M, and you want to say do the ribs. How many people can that pack of ribs there feed?
Well, it depends if it's me you're feeding or you.
No, let's say me, all right? Like if people are watching us, I'm a head taller than you, so I'm much bigger. It's me eating those ribs. How many people can you feed?
I'm sure you can feed 2 or 3.
Two or three adults? Okay. So let's say you're having a big game watch party, so you go get several packs of those ribs. How long would it take to prepare if you want it ready for kickoff at 6:00?
There are so many rib recipes out there. The one we do at our house is 3-2-1. Randy will smoke it for 3 hours, then put it on the pit for another 2 hours, and then put it in the oven for 1. It's his special 3-2-1.
Okay.
But if you just
that's 6 hours. So if you're going to do that, you need to start thinking about it at noon if you're going to go that route.
Right. But normal people can put it in the oven for an hour, hour and a half, and they'll be fine.
Okay. So that pack of ribs, it doesn't need to be thawed, right?
So we have fresh and we have frozen. The one I brought you today is actually fresh, so you don't have to defrost. Now, if you're going to eat the brisket stuffed with sausage, that one is frozen. So just put it under some cold water for a little bit, probably an hour or so, and it'll be defrosted, and you can put it in the oven. Okay, and then in the oven for about an hour, hour and a half. Actually, y'all have a sheet that has like all the cooking instructions for every item that you sell. We do. We have the instructions in the store, and we also post them on the website.
All right. And the website is chrisspecialtyfoods.com. It's back-to-back S's, CHRIS, specialtyfoods.com, chrisspecialtyfoods.com. Oh, look, holiday special. So you've replaced the Thanksgiving. So what's up for the holiday specials then?
So we've gotten all the turkeys behind us. When Christmas starts, we sell
look at the gift boxes.
We sell a lot of steaks and gift cards. For the holidays, but we can do gift boxes for you. We can do ribeyes, we can do steaks, we can put anything you want into a box, and it's great for family, friends, employees, customers. It's a great gift for when you really don't know what to get someone. It's delicious.
And of course, on Airline in Prairieville, Millerville, New Orleans and Lakeview, and then Frisco, Texas, we talked about as well. So I've got them all now. Where's the one in Frisco for all our Dallas people?
It's right off of Dallas Parkway.
I'm saying it like I know where it is, but if people listening in Dallas, they'll know.
It is 2 blocks from the Star, where Dallas' practice facility is.
Okay, very cool. Yep. Chris's Specialty Foods, chrisspecialtyfoods.com. All right, let's talk about the game. What do you got? This is usually where Jay gives me the big sunshine pumper. I really believe we're going to get it done. I love the Tigers in this one. It's all going to go well, and we're going to win by 30. What do you think?
So I think right now Texas A&M is undefeated at home. Yeah. So that scares me a little bit. I don't think they're 15 points better than LSU, so I'm going to take LSU with the points.
But you're taking A&M to win. Tracy. I mean, I guess I could ask you, like, for do you have any other betting lines that you like this week? Any other ones? You're like sharp giving us these angles? No?
No, although I did spend the morning with Jimmy Ott.
You were over at Rufino's with him?
I did my annual trip. I went to get all my gift cards for
Awesome.
for this year, next year. So yeah.
Yep, this is the time to get by there. Obviously, I know everybody is. We talked about it a couple days ago, obviously, with many people paying their tributes to Ruffin, but certainly this is a great day to go get your gift cards over at Rufino's. But all right, so you like A&M to win, but you like LSU in the points?
I do. I am a huge LSU fan. I don't want everyone to hate me, but
I think everyone understands it right now.
We've lost a lot of players that opted out. We have injuries. We don't have our starting quarterback, so it's just been a tough year. This
stretch, and we found out today that the LSU-Bama game got moved to next week. So LSU is going to go A&M, Bama, Florida, back-to-back weeks. You're going to take on top 5 teams. Yep. So it's going to be a rough stretch. But if they can find a way to maybe play their best and win one of these games coming up, that'd be awesome.
But if there's a silver lining in any of it, come get some great food, get some friends and family at the house, and at least have a beer and some great food.
And play the Tigers in the points, right?
That's
Tressie Leindecker, Chris's Specialty Foods, ChrisSpecialtyFoods.com, ChrisSpecialtyFoods.com, sponsor here on our Tailgate segment. Maybe we'll get Jay back next week. We'll see.
Maybe not.
Thanks for coming in. Hour 2 next.
AFR.
AFR is brought to you by the Williamson Eye Center, WilliamsonEye.com, 924-2020, 924-2020, 924-2020, or WilliamsonEye.com. If you are like me and you were born genetically with awful vision, my whole family. My poor sister had glasses when she was 5 years old. None of us can see a lick. Until now. I can. 2 years ago, went to Dr. Blake Williamson, had my LASIK. People have said for years, best money you could ever spend, best decision you ever made. I wish I had done it years prior. But it's what it is. Met Dr. Blake Williamson. He took care of my LASIK, and now 2 years removed, I'm still seeing 20/15. I'm seeing better than 20/20. My dad years ago had RK surgery. There's a new lens replacement that he could have for people who had RK years ago. The Williamson Eye Center, they have a refractive option for everybody, no matter your refractive issue. The Williamson Eye Center, 924-2020, 924-2020.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
If I built a van, it would do more than haul.
It would carry my entire business. I'd make it available in dozens, if not thousands of configurations.
It would keep an eye on my fleet.
And an eye out for danger. If I built a van, I'd make it available in diesel and gas. And I'd build it right here in South Carolina.
Introducing the all-new Sprinter, starting at $33,790. Built in the USA. Mercedes-Benz. Vans. Born to run.
To all of our heroes working on the front lines of this COVID-19 pandemic, your bravery and selflessness represent the very best of us, and we want to say thank you. I'm asking everyone around the state to join me in celebrating the heroism of our healthcare professionals on the 19th of every month at 1900 hours, that's 7 p.m. Write a note of appreciation, make plans to donate to charitable organizations, or say a prayer. To learn more, visit 19thanks.org. Thank you, and God bless.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Auctioner.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact Service Master Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. Service Master Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
Toyotathon is happening now at Corval Toyota in Opelousas.
Get a 20 Highlander for $4,600 off of MSRP.
So come on down to Happy Town for Toyotathon. That's Corval Toyota in Opelousas.
Happy Town, USA.
Callahan Injury Lawyer.
This is SportsCenter. I'm Chad Ryder. The NFL has moved the 10-0 Steelers matchup against the Ravens for a second time. It's now scheduled to be played on Tuesday night in Pittsburgh. At least a dozen Ravens players have tested positive for COVID, including Lamar Jackson. Baltimore's only active quarterback on the roster is Robert Griffin III. Bears will start Mitch Trubisky at quarterback for Sunday night's game at Green Bay. Chicago has lost 4 straight. Nick Foles dealing with a hip injury. Falcons running back Todd Gurley with a knee injury out for Sunday's game against the Raiders. In college football, Ohio State head coach Brian Day has tested positive for COVID-19. Will not be on the sideline for tomorrow's game at Illinois. Defensive line coach Larry Johnson will fill in for Day, coach the 4th-ranked Buckeyes. Right now, 1:10 left in the first half at Chapel Hill. And number 19 North Carolina with a field goal leads number 2 Notre Dame 17-14. Sam Howell has a touchdown pass and run for the Tar Heels. Iowa State beats Texas in Austin 23-20.
It's Jordan Cornette, Keyshawn J. Will, and Zubin back on Monday, recapping Sunday Night Football as the Bears look to get back into the NFC North hunt. Keyshawn J. Will, and Zubin, Monday, 6 a.m. Eastern on ESPN Radio.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios.
That's right.
Boy, yeah, they call him the Riot. Born and raised in the swamps, on the fight like a tiger. He going beast mode, baby, he a beast though. What you think he supposed to do? You pitch a better reload. Get the point.
After further review, the Riot Radio Hour with Matt Moscona and Ryan Terrio.
Here comes Terrio. The throw, not in time. Scudero delivers and the Giants lead 4-3 in the 10th.
104.5, 104.9 ESPN Baton Rouge, 100.3 ESPN New Orleans.
This is legit, dude. Check me out. I got camo paint on my face.
Ryan Terrio hitless in 4 at-bats.
When it's 20 degrees, Matt, and you're sitting in a deer stand, it's freezing cold.
Okay,
you
I'm
need
talking,
a beanie on your head.
Our weekly visit with Ryan Terrio is brought to you by Bowie Outfitters. Bowie Outfitters, your home for everything outdoors.
Oh, hour 2 off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar. I'm Matt.
Love you, Matt.
Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
Muso. And Terrio. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. Terrio not in studio today, but joining us here by phone. How are you, dude?
I'm doing great, man. It's a wonderful day today. Playoff Friday. The Irish are getting ready to lose.
Yes.
I mean, the day couldn't be going better.
Playoff Friday, high school football playoffs. That's your obligation today. So Houston, Terrio, and the Dunham Tigers getting ready to take to the field. Who they got tonight?
St. Thomas Aquinas.
Is that here or is that in Lafayette?
That's going to be in Hammond.
Oh,
Yep.
I thought they were
Yep.
in Lafayette. St. Thomas Aquinas is is a Hammond school?
Yeah, St. Thomas More is
Yeah.
Lafayette,
Yeah.
or it's the elementary middle school over there, Sherwood
Yes.
Forest, Goodwood area.
Yeah, I'm
but no,
familiar.
St. Thomas Aquinas is Hammond.
Got it. How was Thanksgiving?
Thanksgiving was good. Went over to Mary's. You
Good,
know,
yes.
Mary cooks just a wonderful cornbread stuffing to die for. So,
You know, I don't know that I'm really up on that. I don't think I care about stuffing. I don't like traditional. Do you like traditional Thanksgiving food?
I do. I mean, I wouldn't say that it's like the most tasty out of the whole spread, but something about during Thanksgiving eating certain foods makes me feel like it's Thanksgiving. Now, I'm all for throwing a brisket in there from time to time, or something kind of off the wall. But I need to have the traditional stuff. I need to have stuffing, obviously turkey. My younger brother Austin just knocked the turkey out the park. He did great.
Would he bake it or did he fry it?
Dude, so he normally fries it, but this year he did a dry brine starting on like Tuesday. Took the backbone out, marinated it for a couple days, and then went on the pit.
Okay.
It was fabulous.
See, I'm with that. What I can't do, I don't like is just regular little baked turkey. I'm just not a fan of that. That's just not really going to float my boat. We have a Cajun injected fried turkey, and that's where I roll. And then we do like hot, like traditional like Cajun like dishes. We do like the stuffed merlatons and the oyster patties, and you know what I mean, like eggplant bundles. And that's what we have. It's like cheese and all kind of good stuff. It's none of this like gravy and cranberry sauce. And I not got no time for that. I don't want any of that.
What's better? But what's better than the cranberries out of the can? I mean, that is just a tasty treat.
It's terrible. I don't even waste the space on my plate. There's no I don't even know that that's on our table. I don't think that's even available at our Thanksgiving.
With the little ridges in it, because it's been sitting in the can for 2 years.
Yep.
Oh, I love that.
No, not even going to make its way onto our table. Not even going to make its way onto our table. All right. Well, what do you think is going to happen in this ball game tonight?
Man, listen. You talking about the playoff game, the high school, or we talking about LSU?
Well, no, I was talking about the playoff game. LSU doesn't play tonight.
Oh yeah. Okay. Well, I think the Tigers are going to win. St. Thomas Aquinas traditional offense. Kind of the veer type old school run the QB, which is boring and stinks, but. Coach Weiner, Neil Weiner, Catholic High grad.
Yep.
Neil Weiner's very innovative on the offensive side of the ball, and I look for the Dunham Tigers to bring the new school into Hammond and win this ball game, man.
Okay.
The second round is going to be a little difficult. I think we're facing the 2 seed in the second round, so, but I look for a victory here.
Okay. Go ahead, Muso. We'll get to your letter here in a second. I did want you to know, though, I'm not sure if you're aware. But you're now losing in our pick'em contest.
Well, it's not my fault, but that's fine.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Are you here? Were you here last Friday?
Well, there's a reason for that.
Okay. And are you here right now?
I'm on the phone. Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, no, I thought so. Okay. So anyway,
I'm here.
Yeah, it's like back in school when, if you were taking a test and you left the answer blank, teacher has to mark it wrong. So,
well, listen, man.
You threw up a bagel last week. Hate to hear that.
That's how you want to win.
No, that's not how I want to win. It's not how I want to win. But I can't help it if I'm standing here ready to play the game and you don't walk out onto the field.
Sure, you can. You can postpone the game.
No,
it's easy.
You can't postpone
that's
games.
Not hard to do.
There's no postponing the games.
Happens all the time.
No, there's no postponing games. Games got to go on. That's the thing. The show's got to go on.
I don't know about that, but what do you got tomorrow? What are we thinking tomorrow? I'll tell you what, I've been worried about this game, this A&M game, Matt. It's been bothering me all week, actually. And I don't know that it's actually the football side of things that's going to take place tomorrow, because I'm most concerned about kind of off-the-field stuff. These clowns from A&M that run their mouth, that are really just a bunch of nerds, and I kind of dug deep and tried to figure out exactly what it is that made me feel the way I feel about A&M, and I think I figured it out.
Okay.
And so I penned a letter, and I'd like to share it with you guys.
No, I really want to hear it. I'd like to hear this. Yeah.
Okay. All right, so here goes. Dear Texas A&M Yell Leaders,
I've been attending sporting events for as long as I can remember. When I knew which team I was pulling for, which was around 3 or 4 years old, I knew when to get excited, and I also knew when to be pissed off. Sometimes I'd have to rely on those around me, but for the most part, I knew what was going on.
Mm-hmm.
It is absolutely amazing to me that the fans at Kyle Field have to look to a group of failed athletes to make vulgar moves with their bodies in order to know when and how to cheer.
Some of them are kind of vulgar, if you think about it.
Mr. Yell Leader, you may feel as if you're part of the team because you train with the football players in the summer. I read you guys do two-a-days. That's cool. Or because your dumb school decided that being a Yell Leader constituted being eligible for a varsity letter. Or maybe because the dumb hillbillies in College Station actually applaud your effort. But believe me when I say, if y'all weren't in attendance, being super weird and creepy, Aggies would still play football. Your outfits look ridiculous. As a matter of fact, you've looked ridiculous since the first game y'all took the field in 1907 to try and persuade a group of ladies from Texas Women's University to remain in the stands as your football team was getting curb stomped.
You did a little research on the Yell Leaders.
Your little cute white uniforms make you look like a painter at 6 a.m. prior to his workday getting started. And your fabulous maroon shoes, they really set the outfit off. I'm all for a good tradition, but being carried by the student body to a fountain on campus to be thrown into after a defeat, then preparing your cheers for the next week's opponent as students watch is just stupid. Almost as stupid as midnight yell practice. There are a million better things I could think of to do at midnight prior to a big game. No thanks. I will not be screaming stupid cheers with no game going on.
Have you ever been to Midnight Yell? I've been to that.
Absolutely not. And I'll never go. That's the dumbest thing in the world. There's no game going on. What are we doing? I really do like A&M Saints. I think they do a great job. And I love the service academy aspect of your school. And I really like Collie. I think your mascot, he's pretty cool.
Well, it's Reveille is the name of the dog, but Reveille is a collie.
He's a collie.
Yeah, Lady Reveille. Did you know she's the highest ranking officer in the Corps of Cadets?
I did not know that.
Yeah, honest to goodness, true story. A dog is the highest ranking officer.
Well, I like collies. I think they're good dogs.
Yeah, they're good dogs. Yeah. She's a pretty dog. Yeah.
But Yell Leaders are both dumb and they're kind of creepy, and you guys can kick rocks. Sincerely, Ryan.
Okay. You went in on the Yell Leaders.
They're the worst, Matt.
I feel like we've done that before, but it's worth it. They're kind of dressed like milkmen. You know what I mean?
They look like milkmen.
Except when they're wearing their overalls for Midnight Yell. Midnight Yell.
So
practice.
do you know why they wear the overalls? I got this one too.
Oh no, let me know. Let me hear it.
Okay, so 1907.
Okay.
The upperclassmen, they had the Texas Women's University ladies there, and so the girls were leaving because the team was losing so bad, right? And so they made all the freshmen go and entertain the fans and entertain the ladies so they wouldn't leave. So the freshmen, it was a group of 7 or 8 guys, they broke into one of the cleaning closets underneath the stadium, and all they could find was white overalls. And so they put on the white overalls, and they went out, started leading cheers and telling jokes. So that's where the overalls come from.
Well, I'm not talking about the white overalls. I'm talking about so the white uniforms they wear on game day.
Yeah.
But for Midnight Yell, they wear blue overalls, like denim overalls.
I'm sure it's from the tradition of the overall deal. Regardless, it's the dumbest thing in the world. And to the fact that it's still going on, like, I feel bad for the cheerleaders. I mean, I really do. These poor girls have worked their whole lives to be the center of attention on that field, getting the crowd pumped up.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden, you've got 5 guys, 3 seniors and 2 juniors, that they actually, one of their deals is called the Hump It, Matt.
Yeah, the Hump It. The Hump It.
The Hump It.
Hump It.
They're making moves with their bodies and gyrating like I wouldn't let my kids watch. Yeah. I don't understand how this is even allowed.
I don't get it. Yeah,
I don't get it.
The guy's name is Weston, one of the yell leaders. He's got his name on his overalls. It says Weston.
Of course he does.
Yeah.
He's probably got his name in his underwear too.
Poor Weston. All right. Well, I'm sorry that you're not going to be here at 5 for our Pick'em segment. That's a bummer.
Messed up.
Well, I mean,
you can still pick, Matt. I'll just stay where I'm at. You can still pick. I don't think I should be punished for this, though.
Well, I mean, I'm not saying you're being punished, but the Pick'em segment goes on whether you're here or not. So this is back-to-back weeks now. You bailed on us, so I just don't know what else to do, Rhino. Sorry.
I got a solution. A solution. You know, it's easy. I got a solution. I'll just text my picks in, and that way you'll have my picks.
Yeah, I think we got to do them live on the air. I'm not so interested in just. I mean, why don't I just get Jack and Livonia to text me his picks too? Why don't we just make it open to everybody? Why don't Musso text me his picks?
Well, because Jack's not playing the game, and neither is Musso.
Well, neither are you. Neither are you the last 2 weeks.
Well, yeah, circumstances.
I'm here. I'm here.
Happens. Okay. Hey, who you got, Tyson or Roy Jones Jr.?
Roy Jones Jr. What about you?
Gosh, I hope Tyson wins. I love Roy Jones Jr. I think he's great.
Yeah.
But I hope Tyson wins.
Yeah.
Do you like the fact that they're fighting?
No, not really.
I don't either.
Yeah.
Me neither.
I mean, whatever. I'll watch. Is it pay-per-view?
Pay-per-view.
Oh, then no, I'm not watching.
Really? I'm going to get it.
Yeah, I'm not spending the money on that. No, I'm not that dumb.
I'm going to get it.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks for calling in, and I'll let you know how your picks do this week.
The only chance you have this year, man, is to cheat. And if that's how you want to do it, then that's fine. I get it. I understand. No big deal.
Maybe you could have maintained the lead if you actually showed up, but you bail on us 2 weeks in a row. There are consequences. Thanks, Rhino. Have a great day.
Have a great day. Have a
great
show. I hope your show's horrible. Okay, man.
All the best. We'll see you later. That's Ryan Terrio now losing in the pick contest because he no-shows for 2 straight weeks. I did like his letter, though. All right, it's after further review. LSU Hoops won their opener last night. Give you a few thoughts on that. We'll head to Denver. Brandon Cristal is going to join us bottom of this hour. Preview Saints-Broncos. Get a check-in from Denver. Stick around, AFR.
AFR.
Brought to you by River City's 1 Hour Air, where they're always on time, or you don't pay a dime. 752-0001, 752-0001, or 1hourbr.com. Spell it out, O-N-E, 1hourbr.com for River City's 1 Hour Air. Remember, just $97. I'll remind you again, just $97 for the preseason heater safety check. They always work nights, holidays, and weekends and never charge you extra to come out. So even though today is a holiday for many people, not at River City's 1 Hour Air. They are working, and if you have a problem with your home central AC or your heater today, you can call River City's 1 Hour Air, and they will come out. They will not charge you extra. Remember, just $97. $97 for the preseason heater safety check. They'll come to your house, make sure your heater is running efficiently, but also they'll make sure, more importantly, it's running safely for the coming cold weather. River City's 1 Hour Air. Protect your home, protect your family. Preseason heater safety check from River City's 1 Hour Air.
$10,000 off MSRP on a new 2020 Ford F-150 XLT. Buy a new one for less than a used one. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. And with Bayou to You, free delivery right to your door. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Hello?
What's up, B? What you doing?
Chilling at the office working. You?
Hanging at the job site. Chilling.
Roof's up?
Hey, Greg, roof up? Roof's up. Roof's up.
Roof's up.
Roof's up?
Roof's up.
Roof's up! Roof's up! Beautiful roof every single time.
True. True.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
They are exactly the same.
They're identical. Actually, they're not. Has2 also has antioxidant vitamin C. Antioxidant? Then we'll take Has2.
Given the choice, why wouldn't you choose the one with antioxidant vitamin C? Choose Vizzy Hard Seltzer.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers, offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as a bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
T-Bob Hebert here with breaking news. Front to Back Boat Services is the shop to upgrade your boat tech this fall. With not one but two NMEA certified techs, who better to install your Panoptic sonar, your HD displays. You want to see the fish under the water before you even cast? They have that. Trolling motor you could control with your iPhone? They have that. So what are you waiting for? Get into Front to Back Boat Services right now. Upgrade your boat tech. Make your boating dreams come true. Front to Back Boat Services.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
LSU Hoops opened up the season last night with a win. Talk about that in a second. Muso over there was bemoaning the climate in the studio in the break. I don't understand. You're freezing, yeah?
Yep.
Paul, you're freezing as well?
Not freezing today, but it's cold.
You're cold. We follow Hester and Hanny in this studio, and they dress like they're doing the show from the Arctic. I mean,
because basically
sweatshirts and ski caps and all that sort of stuff. I'm sitting here in shorts and a golf shirt, and I'm not cold, which is perplexing to me.
Yeah, me too. I don't understand how you're not
Am
cold.
I the only person that's never cold in this room?
Pretty much.
Because Jordy acts like it's freezing in here too, and he sits in this chair.
Yes. Hanny sits in that chair.
No, well, Hester sits over there, and he's fine. What about T-Bob? Does he freeze in the morning?
Yeah, T-Bob can't stand it.
Does he?
Yeah, T-Bob's freezing.
Am I literally the only person that does a show in this room that is not freezing?
I'd have to say yes.
Paul's not.
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah, you're the only one.
I'll tell you why this is mind-boggling. I hate being cold. For me, it's the worst thing. Erica puts the thermostat at like 65 when we sleep. And I'm like, hell no. Like, we had to get that. When we were first married, there was a time in the winter when she just turned the central air off. And so I woke up one morning, and the thermostat in the house was at like 57. I'm like, hey, no, this is ridiculous. And then when we brought Drew home, I was like, we cannot do that. We have a child. You have got to be more sensible than this. And so we've compromised. And so she puts the thermostat on like 68. Maybe I bump it up a couple degrees. That's still too cold. And I sleep with like blanket, comforter. I hate being cold. Like when people celebrate when the cold front comes, I'm like, You're crazy. I live in Louisiana because I want it to be 75 in December.
Exactly. I'm going to be miserable next week.
Yeah.
When it's 29 degrees on Monday night,
I'm not interested.
No.
I don't like when I go to take out the trash and it's freezing. I'm like, I got to put a jacket on to go take out the trash.
Or two.
Yeah, no, I'm not down with this. So that's my point. I hate being cold. I'm just not cold in here.
That's incredible. Look, I'm right there with you. I can't stand. I would rather summer over winter any day of the week. But
I mean,
it is miserably cold in here.
Angle from everybody else? Am I sitting at a different angle?
I don't think so. No.
The
vents are right above you.
Is it the time of day where the vents blow a different direction? Is maybe the fact that all the equipment's been on all day? It catches a jet stream up over the two of you and then lands on me. This is so bizarre that y'all act like teeth chattering, like you're in a freezer, like you're in an ice box, like you're in a freezer truck. That's what you all act like.
And basically we are.
I mean, Handy has a Barrett's barleycorn sweatshirt that he keeps in the closet in the hall that he puts on in here. I'm like, well, I don't get it.
Maybe one day it'll just hit you out of nowhere.
Maybe. But
I will never not come in this room with a jacket on.
Yeah.
Paulie, look at me, man. I'm sitting here in short sleeve. Look at I got on shorts today, y'all. I mean,
it can be 100 degrees outside. I'm bringing a jacket into this room.
It's bizarre. It's really bizarre. It is cold in Denver. We're going to go to Denver in about a little less than 10 minutes right now. Brandon Kristoll covers the Broncos, KOA in Denver. LSU Hoops got a win last night. They beat SIU Edwardsville. If you didn't watch, story of the game basically is LSU got to a big lead. Edwardsville had 2 buckets in like the first 11 minutes. And then LSU did what LSU did a lot last year, which is give up a whole bunch of threes. Edwardsville got back within 2 points in the third quarter. And then LSU went on another run. Darius Days had a couple of and ones. So the Tigers win. The biggest complaint people had today was defense. Will Wade was on off the bench this morning. And this 112-second cut is every bit of explanation that you should need today about that defensive performance.
Let me put it this way. That was we played a very small part of what we're going to do yesterday. So it'll be a lot different on Saturday.
I love him so much. He basically said, we knew that team was crap and we could score 1 million and win and not show anything to St. Louis. Because y'all look, the team they're going to play on Saturday is a squad. They return their 5 starting 5 from a year ago, their top 8 scorers. They return like 91% of their minutes played from a year ago. Travis Ford's their coach who played at Kentucky, coach at Okie State. Like, the opponent tomorrow is a legitimate opponent. And every year we see Will Wade's squad. We see Will Wade get his squad up for one of these games. You remember year 1 when they went to Maui and took on Michigan and they won that game? Remember Will Wade, like, broke the scorers table? Do you remember that? Like, and then after that, they got housed by Notre Dame and Marquette. But they got the one that they got up for. Year 2, do you remember they were down at the Advocare Invitational? And they were playing Florida State. And they had Florida State dead to rights and let it get away and lost in overtime. And then the next day, they played Oklahoma State, which was a crappy basketball team, and they got housed by Oklahoma State. Point is, Will circles one of these every year, and it feels like the St. Louis game is the one that he circled. And that's a really good opponent they're going to play tomorrow. And you could hear it. I mean, he basically told you, we showed nothing because we know who we're going to play, and we're going to ratchet this up a million-fold Saturday. Will it work? I don't know. Here was Will Wade talking about St. Louis, number 4 for Good Music. St. Louis and the challenges that they present.
Our biggest issue is going to be rebounding. They're big, they're physical. Son French is a man. Jimmy Bell's a good player. They got transfer from Wilmington, who they played a lot against Edwardsville, who's a good player. Then obviously Goodwin, their guard, he averages over 10 rebounds a game. He's the best rebounding guard I've seen. Perkins is a tremendous scorer. So, I mean, they're a veteran team. They returned their top 7 guys from last year. They add the transfer from Wilmington. They had a kid, 24, a big-time shooter who was hurt last year, who's back. He had like 4 or 5 threes in their opener. So, I told our guys last night, this is like a second-round NCAA tournament matchup. Yeah. So it'll be an absolute battle. We've got to prepare, and we'll certainly need to clean some things up and play a little bit better than we did last night.
That's gonna be a lot of fun. Brian Penn Johnson didn't play much. I believe he was the only player on the roster that didn't play double-digit minutes in the game against Edwardsville. Got a feeling if you're looking for rebounding and size and rim protection, he'll play a lot more tomorrow. We'll talk more about this game, maybe in hour 3. Let me knock out a break. I want to run to Denver when we come back. Not literally run to Denver. That would be really far. Brandon Cristal, KOA Radio in Denver. He's going to join us. Broncos had another positive test today. Sean Payton earlier today said, as of now, about an hour ago, they're going to play. They're getting on the plane and going. We'll get the latest from Denver when we come back. Glad to have you hanging out with us here on Friday edition of AFR. Stick around.
AFR.
AFR is brought to you by Premier South Roofing and PremierSouthLA.com. Baton Rouge, Lafayette North Shore, Lake Charles, and online at PremierSouthLA.com. A-plus rated with the Better Business Bureau, Super Service Award from Angie's List, Torch Award for Ethics in Business, no matter what type of roof you have. If it's traditional shingle roof, if it's metal, you need gutters or awnings, if it's a slate or a tile roof, they do all of it at Premier South Roofing. They do it better than anybody else. That's how they've achieved all the distinctions that they have with the Better Business Bureau, with Angie's List. Read the reviews. You'll see time and again how many of your friends and neighbors trust Premier South Roofing for commercial and residential jobs. Just drive around town. See how many of the blue Premier South Roofing trucks and trailers you see in your neighborhood and all around town. It's Premier South Roofing. Online at PremierSouthLA.com. PremierSouthLA.com.
Toyotathon is happening now at Corval Toyota in Opelousas.
Get a 20 Highlander for $4,600 off of MSRP.
So come on down to Happy Town for Toyotathon. That's Corval Toyota in Opelousas.
Happy Town, USA.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
You may not know about the 4Kids Foundation, but you've probably heard of the Zurich Classic. And the Zurich Classic exists because of 4 kids. But it's what happens after the tournament that really counts. 100% of the proceeds are donated by the 4Kids Foundation to hundreds of local charities, totaling more than $40 million, all to help local children and families in need. 4Kids helps kids through golf, because every child deserves a shot at a brighter future.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
All right, Sean Payton met with the media about an hour ago. As of now, they're planning on getting on a plane on Saturday and going to Denver. If you haven't heard the story, Jeff Driscoll tested positive for COVID-19. Another player and two staffers tested positive today. We've learned that Deontay Spencer is the player that's tested positive. So what's the word there on the ground as Denver has closed their facility today, all work being done remotely? Brandon Cristal on Twitter at BK Denver Sports, Broncos insider from KOA Radio there in Denver. Good enough to join us for a couple of minutes. Brandon, belated happy Thanksgiving, man. Thanks for the time. How are you?
I'm good, Matt. You know, usually when the Broncos and Saints get together, it's not that often.
Yeah.
I feel like T-Bob gives me a ring, and when the Broncos used to be good, I've talked Peyton Manning with him, regardless of where he's working. Did he get the week off, or is he just over talking to me? I'm happy to talk to you, Matt, of course.
Maybe T-Bob, maybe he just got lazy. Maybe he's just a little high on himself now. I don't know.
Could be. I'm going to give him a hard time on Twitter after we get done chatting. But
maybe dad of two girls now. Yeah. He's doing the Frozen thing. I don't know.
I get that. I've got a 6-week-old little girl and a 2-year-old little boy who's gotten into Frozen because of my niece and nephew, who are all in the house right now because of Thanksgiving. And so, you know, we kept it small because in Colorado we've had the outbreak hit us just like it has just about everywhere else. But my sister-in-law and brother-in-law, they live up in Port Collins. They work from home. The kiddos do school remotely. So we felt safe about a small intimate Thanksgiving, but it has meant a lot of Frozen and a lot of Moana in my house. But I have been able to watch the golf today with Louisiana's own Peyton Manning and one of my favorites, Sir Charles and Phil and Steph. It's been really fun. And Charles is surprising people, I think, with his swing. But no, things are good. And then as far as Broncos, you know, you mentioned the positive tests. The one thing the Broncos have done, unlike, say, the Ravens or the Titans that were hit early on, is the Broncos have done a good job of following these protocols. And so even as the positive tests have started to kind of roll in week over week, and they had a stretch of about 2 weeks with nobody related to the organization testing positive after Shelby Harris, a defensive lineman, a few weeks ago, got it from his wife and kids that they think they might have gotten from Halloween. So it started back with the running backs coach, Curtis Modkins. He tested positive. They immediately went into intensive protocols, which the whole league is on now, which meant ramping everything up, kicking people out of the building that weren't essential, meeting remotely as much as possible, not showering if you don't have to stick around for treatment or whatever, or spacing it out so that you're not near anybody, grabbing your meals to go and or just running to your car and eating there or eating as far away from a teammate as possible, not sitting at another teammate table with a teammate. So they've been doing that for about 5-6 weeks now. Then as more tests have come in, whether it was Joe Ellis, team president, John Elway, I mentioned Shelby Harris, there's been a couple more kind of mixed in there, Graham Glasgow, the starting right guard. Each one has been isolated. So they've done the contact tracing, and at every turn they found that it hasn't spread. There's been some close contact concerns, and they can follow these guys to the minute with their trackers. So it looks like, in this case, Driscoll and Deontay Spencer, who aren't in meeting rooms together, a backup QB and a kick returner, it doesn't seem like they got it in the same place. I guess anything's possible, and I haven't been told that for sure. But none of the other quarterbacks, they checked their tracing yesterday. They're still negative. That doesn't mean they can't test positive down the road. But so I would feel comfortable about this game happening on Sunday as of now, certainly compared to what's going on with the Ravens and Steelers, or the Ravens specifically. But that's kind of where it is that the Broncos have prided themselves that each time there's a positive test, which is inevitable, it becomes its own isolated thing.
So BK, so just walk me through the Broncos protocols between now and Sunday. So would they test again today and then again tomorrow? And if there's no more positive tests, and the game goes on to schedule.
Yeah, exactly. And depending on if there were another positive test, who it happened to. Okay, if it's another wide receiver, then that's a concern that there might be an outbreak. If, let's just say, I don't know, I'm trying to think somebody won't even come in contact with either, a linebacker maybe, you know. If a linebacker tests positive, they'll check everyone that linebackers come in contact with. They also conduct interviews. So that's, I think, how it was made known, and maybe it wasn't made known, but I don't know. The Stephon Gilmore, Cam Newton may have been at dinner together.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Jeff Driscoll and his wife are going to dinner with Deontay Spencer, who's 8 years older and single. I'm not saying they aren't. I just don't think that happened, right? So the way it'll go is, so they test every day, including game days now. They used to not test game days, but I'm pretty sure, because I was part of the testing protocol. There was a handful of media we were allowed in early, and right as I went out on leave, when my wife went into the hospital, we had the baby, they shut us down. It had nothing to do with us. It had to do with the intensive protocols and needing more space, so they needed the room where the media would meet. They didn't need us going into the testing, because we would not bump into players, but be in there at the same time as a player or a coach, just based on randomness of us stopping by to get a test, right? 7 or 8 of us. So, but we were getting tested every day except game days, and same with the players. They changed that, I think, league-wide 6 weeks ago, maybe after the Tennessee stuff. And so, so they tested today, just like they tested yesterday. If there's anybody they even thought was close, they probably took a second test today called a POC test, and then they'll probably do the same thing tomorrow if they're worried at all about it spreading. The sense I get talking to some people in the building is they're not overly concerned now, but they're not going to just pretend like everything's cool. They're going to certainly take it seriously and hope that as of tomorrow, no other positive tests happen, because then they'll feel good about getting the game in Sunday.
Let's assume as we move forward, Brendan Cristal is our guest, KOA in Denver. Let's assume our game's going to be played. For me, the most fascinating thing is how Denver and Vic Fangio and that defense try to stop the Saints offense with Taysom Hill now that there is some game film with Taysom as a starting quarterback. So how, from your vantage point, how do you think that matchup plays out, what Denver tries to do against the Saints offense?
Well, I think that unlike against Tua, who they just wanted to get a bunch of pressure on, it was a rookie QB that Vic Fangio treated like a rookie QB. Taysom hasn't started a lot, but he is 30 years old. He's been on the field and taken a lot of snaps. And with apologies to Chan Gailey, he has Sean Payton in his ear and has Alvin Kamara and Michael Thomas.
Right.
And we could go down the list, right? Emmanuel Sanders, Jared Cook, and a pretty good offensive line in front of them to go with a good defense on the other side. Tua has some of those things and is maybe certainly trending in the right direction. So when I asked Vic, because we talk to him every week on the morning show that I'm a part of, if you can treat Taysom Hill kind of like a rookie because he only has that one start. And I'm sure Vic was, not that he was holding back, but he said no, because they kept running their offense, and they're so balanced with the way that Kamara and Murray are able to run the ball, and obviously a younger and inexperienced quarterback's best friend is going to be a good tight end. You have one of those there in Jared Cook. Running backs that you can dump it off to, easy throws on checkdowns that can make plays like Kamara can. So Vic said that it's different than just a straight-up matchup against a rookie because of everything that the Saints have at their disposal. Nonetheless, I'm sure Vic is going to dig into his bag of tricks and throw a few things at Taysom that he hadn't seen any time that he's been on the field, and probably that hasn't been thrown at Drew much in recent years that Taysom would have seen on film either.
Flip it around. What about this Denver offense, which, I mean, outside looking in, and you mentioned the Saints and the Broncos play so infrequently, I can't pretend to know everything there is to know about Denver, but it feels like this is an offense that's been up and down this year. What is a realistic expectation against the Saints defense, which arguably in the last 3 to 5 weeks is playing as good as any defense in the league?
Yeah, and their numbers indicate it, right? Yeah. When you're third in yards per game and fourth in yards per play. And,
one touchdown in the last 3 weeks. It's bonkers. I mean, it's like it's not even real.
Sure, and 8 sacks against one of the better quarterbacks in the league. Sure, there's some familiarity with Matt Ryan and what the Falcons do, even when their coaching staff changes at times. But you know Matt Ryan really well and know how to attack him. And so those 8 sacks, will the Broncos be dealing with something similar? Who knows? But when you've got guys getting after it, not just Cam Jordan, but that whole front, and they're good on the back end, it's going to be a challenge. The thing here is so that you got to kind of have to separate out a few things. You have some people that are complete believers in Drew Lock. You have some people that like his talent, like his intangibles. You have some people who think that he just doesn't have it, even though he started 12 games in his career, whatever that number is now, 11, 12, 13 games. And maybe it's a couple more than that. I'm not great at math, but 7 or 8 this year.
Me either.
I mean, he missed 2 full games. He missed almost the whole Steelers game, and he started 5 last year, and they played 10. So we'll call 7. He started 12. He started, 13, and he's played in 12 and a quarter. So he's still got a ways to go, right? And Pat Shurmur comes in, his first year here, But this Broncos offense is in their 5th different coordinator in 5 years. Certainly plenty of personnel turnover. Now, Drew Lock's used to a new OC going back to high school. This is his 6th OC in 7 years because he had 3 and 4 years at Missouri and now 2 and 2 years in the pros and his high school coach. So, sorry, I've got a 2-year-old coming in because it's the day after Thanksgiving.
It's so good.
All right.
Dude, I was doing my show from home last week, and my kid just, I just left the door open. I was like, I don't even care. Just come in at any point. I'm not even going to try to stop it.
No, he's disappointed the Broncos look like the same offense they have for the last 5 years. And that's the thing is, when I say it's, you have to kind of separate it out. Broncos fans, Broncos country, as we like to call it, or certainly the marketing folks here what the Broncos do, and let's take it back one more year. The year they won the Super Bowl with Peyton Manning, so 6 seasons ago, that offense wasn't good. That offense had more interceptions than touchdowns. The defense was an all-time caliber defense. They won 11 games by a touchdown or less, and Peyton was good enough in the playoffs, and Brock was good enough when he was in for Peyton, that they were able to win those games down the stretch. So it's been 6 years of bad offense here. But Pat Shurmur doesn't see it like that. He sees it as his first year with a young quarterback, young players all over the place, without Cortland Sutton from the second week of the season, and an offensive line that keeps reworking on the right side because of injuries and COVID, and a rookie center in Lloyd Cushenberry, who obviously everybody listening right now knows really well, but he's looked like a rookie at times, and that's not an indictment on him. They like him a lot. He's smart. He picks things up. He's really big. They think he could be the next, at the very least, Matt Paradis, who started for 3.5 years here before getting big money to go to Carolina, or Tom Nalen, who's a Ring of Famer and a borderline Hall of Famer, who went to 5 Pro Bowls. They like him that much. So Shurmur missed the entire spring with his second-year QB, and while that's not an excuse that they want to talk about a lot, it's still a fact. The teams need a little bit of practice to get on the same page with all these young guys, and so you miss the spring, you miss preseason games, and then you're just kind of thrust into it. So they're trying to, use building blocks to establish something, and you see flashes. You see the comebacks, the win for against the Chargers, a pretty good comeback against the Falcons, although maybe some people think it was never that close. And so Shurmur's just trying to minimize the mistakes, and Drew had a whole bunch against the Raiders, but it turns out he was pretty hurt and was kind of just playing through that. And so they're trying to grow. At the same time, the Saints defense isn't going to feel sorry for him or let him figure it out on the field. They're going to get after it and try to confuse Drew and get after these running backs. So I think it could be a long day. I'm not saying it definitely will be, but we know how good the Saints D's been. So, I've had to make these picks throughout the week on the game. And while it won't blow my mind if the Broncos could squeak out a win, I'm certainly not picking it.
Mm-hmm. Hey, before you go, I'm looking at the injury report, and it's lengthy for Denver.
Sort of.
What's realistic? I mean, what's the latest? Or who's expected to play? Who's expected to be out?
So Judy's the one that concerns me the most. Not that he and Locke have necessarily been on the same page, but just because it was an ankle, now it's an ankle and an Achilles or something in between, and Vic Fangio couldn't really describe it, and that always makes you a little nervous when you can't say, oh, it's definitely this, right? So I think that when you look at it, Judy's the one that I'm keeping an eye on the most, and for whatever reason, he was in bold today.
Yeah.
Now, they didn't practice again, so the injury report that I tweeted out is an estimation. They will have a little bit more of a practice tomorrow. DeMar Dotson is a veteran who was dealing with a hip a couple of weeks ago, but he'll go. Bryce Callahan with the foot, same thing. And Glasgow, the right guard, just doesn't miss games. But that's the one to keep an eye on, and certainly folks down there know all about Jerry Jeudy. I mentioned that he and Locke haven't really gotten on the same page. He's caught the ball plenty. It's more that they just haven't been locked in deep, for lack of a better term. Sorry about that, but they haven't connected.
I love puns.
Deep.
Use them.
Use
them freely.
It wasn't intentional. So when you look at where they're injured, the injuries are more to the guys that aren't there. So you're getting to come to Denver, and I get Drew Brees isn't there, so there's that, but he's also 100 years old. I mean, he and I were in high school around the same time in Dallas. His little brother I've known since I moved to Denver, and I was in my late 20s, and he was also in his late 20s. That was a long time ago. But no Von Miller for the whole year to this point. You lose Sutton in week 2. You lose a 5-time Pro Bowler, Jarrell Casey, in week 3. Your starting right tackle opted out before the year started. And so those 4 right there you haven't had really at all. And then, the other injuries have kind of yo-yoed, like an A.J. Boye, who's another Pro Bowler, Philip Lindsay. But so the Broncos are kind of constantly undermanned, and then it's, okay, what about in this game? And it is worth noting, I think that the Saints will continue to run the ball well because Mike Purcell, their nose tackle, after he signed a big deal, hurt his foot and is done for the year. And then I mentioned Casey and Shelby Harris, who's been their best D lineman, is out now for a fourth game because of COVID. He was back in the building this week, but they haven't cleared him yet. I don't think he's testing positive, but I guess physically it's just not all there. I don't know all the details other than they haven't cleared him, and Vic said until we clear him, don't expect him to play. So they were counting on probably getting him back. So I think that the Saints offense could have a big day. If you're doing a daily fantasy lineup, it won't be a bad idea to roster some of the Saints skilled players, especially Emmanuel Sanders, who I think would want to have a big day here back in Denver.
I'm feeling much better about Sunday, actually, now. Brandon,
I mean, you should, unless Vic has so much up his sleeve that he, and then that means Jameis comes in, and he'll have plenty for Jameis too. But again, I wouldn't bet on it.
Hey, I'll let you get back to the golf and Frozen. Appreciate the time, man. Thanks so much.
All right, thanks, Matt. Good talking to you. Tell T-Bob. Ask him why he ducked me. I'll ask him on Twitter, too. So I
try not to talk to him, but I'll have to sit in the studio with him for like 4 hours tomorrow, so I'd rather just not talk to him at all. Thanks, man.
Well, thanks, Matt.
I appreciate you. Brandon Cristal, our guest, KOA in Denver, on Twitter at BK Denver Sports. It's after I feel much better about this game, actually, after hearing that, about all that Denver's missing. But see. All right, it's after, but then again, why is it just a 6-point line? NFL. That is my pointed comment for the day. It's AFR.
AFR.
Brought to you by Pluckers, Nicholson, and Bluebonnet. Dine in or carry out. 24 flavors of award-winning jumbo chicken wings. Tell you what, there's few things that could be better. And this happened one time. I was sitting with Gordy Rush, and I was like, you know what? I just don't want to listen to him talk anymore. So I had a whole bunch of wings, and I just put them all in front of his face. And he ate like 30 wings. And the best part about it was I didn't have to listen to Gordy Rush talk. But he got to eat a whole bunch of wings from Pluckers. Nicholson just south the campus. That was not at all in the shot. Nicholson just wasn't. Paul, that's when you have to go to the wide shot, man. That's when you have to go to see it. Gordy just walked in. All right, Nicholson, Bluebonnet, dine in or carry out. 24 flavors of award-winning jumbo chicken wings, ice cold draft beer, full-service bar. Of course, they are open today, so you can get by and watch all your college football action today. Full slate of games tomorrow, and then Sunday it's Pluckers. Nicholson, Bluebonnet, you don't like our wings. We'll give you the bird.
$10,000 off MSRP on a new 2020 Ford F-150 XLT. Buy a new one for less than a used one. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. And with Bayou to You, free delivery right to your door. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
If I built a van, it would do more than haul.
It would carry my entire business. I'd make it available in dozens, make not thousands of configurations.
It would keep an eye on my fleet.
And an eye out for danger.
If I built a van, I'd make it available in diesel and gas. And I'd build it right here in South Carolina.
Introducing the all-new Sprinter, starting at $33,790. Built in the USA. Mercedes-Benz. Vans. Born to run.
To all of our heroes working on the front lines of this COVID-19 pandemic, your bravery and selflessness represent the very best of us, and we want to say thank you. I'm asking everyone around the state to join me in celebrating the heroism of our healthcare professionals on the 19th of every month at 1900 hours, that's 7 p.m. Write a note of appreciation, make plans to donate to charitable organizations, or say a prayer. To learn more, visit 19thanks.org. Thank you, and God bless.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers. Offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as the bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Toyotathon is happening now at Corval Toyota in Opelousas.
Get into a 20 Camry for $297 a month.
So come on down to Happy Town for Toyotathon. That's Corval Toyota in Opelousas. Happy Town, USA.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
We have like 90 seconds to go. I just looked at the clock and realized, I mean, we have like 45 seconds. There was so much information. Musa, what do you want to do for 20 seconds?
You have a good Thanksgiving, Matt?
Really good Thanksgiving.
Glad to hear it, man.
Mine was good, too. Yeah. How was yours?
It was good.
Yep.
It was a good time.
Paul, good Thanksgiving?
Mine was good.
Good. What did you eat?
Turkey.
Yep. Anything else?
Mashed potatoes.
Musa?
Yeah, turkey, green bean casserole, sweet potato casserole, dressing. Had some good wine.
Good. Yeah. Hour 3 next.
AFR.
I mean, that last segment got completely away from us. We had 90 seconds. All right, it's after. I'm sorry. I know that is horrible radio. That is like, to come out of a break and have like 30 seconds and have to go to another break is awful, and I get that. I'm very sorry. We will talk to Billy Liucci of TexAgs.com right after the top of the hour. We go deep dive LSU Texas A&M preview. Let me remind you about Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. Windows, doors, siding, Relief Windows, and ReliefWindows.com. They are the best. I was actually having a conversation yesterday with a family member. They live down in Lakeview, and they had a leaking window. And they were talking about, needing to replace it. I said, you got to call Brandon. You got to call Relief Windows. You may pay more. Like, you could probably find someone that will come install a window for you and save you a few bucks. But lifetime warranty, labor, material, glass breakage, to know you pay once you're done forever and the work will be done pristine, that's Relief Windows. Windows, door, siding, Relief Windows, and ReliefWindows.com.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Auctioner.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers. Offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as the bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
T-Bob Hebert here with breaking news. Front to Back Boat Services is the shop to upgrade your boat tech this fall. With not one but two NMEA certified techs, who better to install your Panoptic sonar, your HD displays. You want to see the fish under the water before you even cast? They have that. Trolling motor you could control with your iPhone? They have that. So what are you waiting for? Get into front-to-back boat services right now. Upgrade your boat tech. Make your boating dreams come true. Front-to-back boat services.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
You may not know about the 4Kids Foundation, but you've probably heard of the Zurich Classic. And the Zurich Classic exists because of 4Kids. But it's what happens after the tournament that really counts. 100% of the proceeds are donated by the 4Kids Foundation to hundreds of local charities, totaling more than $40 million, all to help local children and families in need. 4Kids helps kids through golf, because every child deserves a shot at a brighter future.
Callahan Injury Lawyer.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm John Ryder. The Ravens will now play the rival Steelers on Tuesday night in Pittsburgh. It's scheduled that way now. At least 12 Ravens players have tested positive for COVID-19, including reigning MVP Lamar Jackson. ESPN's Jeremy Fowler on the 10-0 Steelers approach to the game.
They'd probably rather play it now, even if it was a day or two after, than have to play a Week 18. You know, especially with this is a team that could go 16-0. You don't want to have to play the Ravens right before the playoffs. It just doesn't make a lot of sense for them.
Another NFL news, Bears starting Mitch Trubisky at quarterback on Sunday night against the Packers at Lambeau. Nick Foles with an injured hip. Chicago looking to avoid a fifth straight loss. To college football, Notre Dame just missed a field goal, but the second-ranked Irish lead North Carolina 24-17 with 3 minutes to play in the third quarter. Ian Book with 2 touchdown passes for the Irish. It's on ABC. Number 13, Iowa State, a 23-20 win at 17th-ranked Texas. And in college basketball, triple overtime, UCLA leads Pepperdine 104-98.
It's Jordan Cornette, Keyshawn J. Will, and Zubin back on Monday, recapping Sunday Night Football as the Bears look to get back into the NFC North hunt. Keyshawn J. Will, and Zubin, Monday, 6 a.m. Eastern on ESPN Radio.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios.
That's right.
Hour 3, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar. I'm Matt.
I appreciate it, bud. Have a good one.
Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
Muso. And Mr. Toby Tom Blake. We're here. Glad you are as well. 5 o'clock quitting time. Glad you're driving home with us. For those of you that are driving home, many maybe had the day off, and that's awesome too. So hope you're enjoying the football today, maybe some leftovers, and hanging out with us here on AFR as we get you ready for Saints-Broncos and LSU at Texas A&M. As a matter of fact, let's head over to College Station. Our buddy Billy Liucci from TexAgs.com. Good enough to join us to preview the matchup. Billy, how are you, man? Belated happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving, Matt. Good to talk to you, brother.
As always, man. We appreciate you for making time on this this Black Friday. Hey, the vibe here is not very good, man. It's decidedly different from a year ago where LSU really knew they were going into that game with a loaded gun. What's the feeling like today in College Station about this ball game?
You know, I was talking about that this morning a lot on the radio show, and have written about it. You know, last year, LSU and their fans and their quarterback and everybody knew they were going to win that game. And it was feeling like a name your score type of thing. And if there was any pushback out of College Station, it was, well, LSU will win, but it might not be a name your score. It ended up being a name your score. I don't think it's the same from A&M in terms of I do think there's a little, we owe these guys type of thing, but I don't think it's the same revenge, payback type thing that LSU had, because that's just not the way this team has really kind of operated. With Burrow, it was the team that, they seem to really embrace that, say what they feel, don't be scared of it. That was kind of what they thrived on, whereas this team has really thrived on taking it week to week and going out there and just executing and playing what before the break was better and better football each week. They were getting better and better, and I think the vibe is, that A&M is going into this one as the better football team. If you look at both teams' first 6 games, I don't think there's any question that A&M's been better so far.
Yeah.
But I do sense, Matt, that, people understand. Look, you look at the history between A&M and LSU, and they understand the talent that LSU's got, not just on defense, but on both sides of the ball. And I think most fans are expecting a good game, and there's a level of confidence that hasn't been there in seasons past in College Station. But I've talked to very few people that are sitting there chalking up a victory, especially with this weather coming in too. It should be, typically tends to be a great equalizer.
What is the? I don't need you to be a weatherman here, but what is the forecast? Like, what is the latest there on that?
Rain, I guess.
It's a lot of rain.
I checked a little while ago. Of course, it was like that today, and I took my dog on about a 30-minute walk, and it finally started sprinkling. I'm about to take him out again because it's still not raining, and it was supposed to be all day, all night, but it's 100% chance of rain tomorrow. It's just going to be, when does the rain come through, and when's it hard, when it's sprinkling. And if it's like today, it hasn't been that bad. There's been a couple of downpours, but it's generally just been real cloudy and kind of a consistent off and on light rain kind of thing. Maybe like what you guys saw in Fayetteville last weekend.
Yeah. You mentioned that LSU's got talent, and they do, and that's something I've harped on a lot, but they've not played anything like it all year. No one is realistically expecting this, amazing about face in 1 week. What I'm interested with A&M is when you go back to the Bama game and then what's happened since. What's been the biggest difference in this team from that loss to this winning streak where they've been playing as well really as anybody in the country?
I think, honestly, this is a little bit cliche, but I really think it just they started to believe. Like, they just flogged through that Vandy game, and, they just weren't good enough the year before to beat top 5 teams, and they went 0-5 against teams in the top 6 or whatever, and kind of, you ran the risk of that beating them down a little bit. I think 2 things, Matt. Number one, it was a confidence thing, and even against Bama, they gained 400 and something yards and moved the ball. And I think they realized, man, we really screwed up a lot there right before halftime, or that would have been a lot different game. It was just, I think it's almost like, Matt, that offense, the lid had to come off of that thing. The top had to come off of that thing. And if there's a turning point for this football team, it's when they went behind 28-17 to Florida, and Kyle Trask and the Gators were just going up and down the field. And in the third quarter, they go behind 28-17, and they get the ball and they run. I think it was 9 out of 10 plays or 8 out of 9 plays, went straight down the field, scored a touchdown, and cut it to 28-24. And then that 4th down run by Isaiah Spiller where he ran over the Florida linebacker and into the end zone. They just changed their whole, I don't want to use swagger because it's more of a hard hat mentality, but it just changed they started to really impose their will on opponents after that. And that's something we haven't seen from A&M since they've been in the SEC. And it certainly, I thought that second half against Florida, and not because they won, but the manner in which they won, that was a turning point. I think so much of it, Matt, is what was going on between the ears.
Billy Liucci's on Twitter at Billy Liucci, TexAgs.com. You need A&M news. That's where you go to get it. I think everyone's looking at this game and readily understanding the LSU offensive. They've scored and they put up yards. They just can't stop anybody. So offensively, is this a game where we're expecting Kellen Mond to put the ball in the air, or is this going to be load up behind that offensive line with Spiller and just try to run, shorten the game, run the ball, et cetera, there for the A&M offense?
I think run the ball because of the weather. I think had it not, it was weren't going to be raining like this, and you'll still obviously both teams are still going to throw the football. And here's the thing: I see LSU. A lot of things they're getting torched on, big plays down the field and stuff. And that hasn't really been A&M's offensive MO so far this season. It's been run the ball, play action, work the intermediate middle of the field, and they've done a great job of that. But I think if the Aggies are to win a game convincingly, and this isn't going to be the close game that for some reason I'm expecting, to be honest with you, and I do think, if I'm picking the game, I'm picking the Aggies, but I'm not picking them to cover. But if they did do that, I think it would start with them kind of, as the game goes on, imposing their will in the running game. I'll be interested to see if they try to get Kellen going at all in the running game, because they really haven't had to do that. They kind of pick their spots and stuff. But I've been saying all year, Matt, there'll be one game here down the stretch where they'll let 11 kind of stretch his legs out a little bit, because gosh, it's there so much when Spiller gets going and Devon Achane and those guys get going, where if you just kind of watch and you go, gosh, if he would just pull it once or twice, no telling what could happen.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Why?
I think it starts with the run game now.
Why are you thinking this game's going to be close, Billy?
You know what? I just the layoff. I think maybe more than anything. Honestly, Matt, I'm not trying to play the.
No, I get it.
How much I respect how good LSU is, and I've always thought they're really good, not great. I think A&M fans make them out to be more than they are, and then last year they were more than any team ever has been.
Yeah.
But outside of that, LSU, since A&M joined the SEC, loses at least 3 games a year, pretty much every year. Now it's usually right around 3, and I've watched them, and I haven't been impressed this season. But I think it's just that you're impressed with the individuals. You watch those guys, and you watch some of the catches they make, and you watch Gilbert, you watch Marshall, and you watch Finley. And it just kind of feels like they're playing, I'd say, better football, but not really, because I wasn't very impressed with the whole Arkansas thing last.
That was
weekend.
an ugly game, man.
Yeah, it was. That reminded me of one of the A&M Arkansas games. And so LSU's struggling, and I get it. I thought people were way high on them. I've never seen a team lose more in one offseason since I've been covering college football. Never have seen it. But here, I think the layoff, I guess, it concerns me, because I've watched a lot of teams kind of start slow coming out of that layoff, and A&M hasn't played a game in 21 days, and they were peaking, man. Like if they would have gone to Knoxville the weekend after South Carolina, I think they would have beaten Tennessee so badly it would have been. I mean, it would have been one of the worst losses the Vols have had at home. I mean, that's how good the Aggies were playing. I don't know if they can just flip the switch and go out there. I think the whole key to this game will be LSU's D-line, which I do think those dudes can play. I think it's them against the Aggie offensive line. Because LSU will challenge them differently. They'll try to play straight through them. They'll play them straight up the middle. No games, they're not trying to twist and stunt. They just line up and go right at you. And I think the last team that tried that with them has been Bama. So it'll be a little bit of a different test. And I think the yards on the ground will be harder to come by. But I do think A&M will get it done.
Billy,
here's the thing, Matt. Do you think LSU, if they fall behind, do you think you could see, not necessarily in the score, because A&M, I know they beat South Carolina 48-3, but they don't typically play a 50-7 kind of game. But
yeah,
I don't mean that by the score. But do you think it can look like last year in Baton Rouge, where if A&M can get out early, LSU kind of just doesn't want a part of it?
Billy, we saw LSU. It's a good question, because we saw LSU against Auburn.
Yeah.
After the turnover in the start of the third quarter, with about 9 minutes to go in the third quarter, LSU packed it up against Auburn.
Yeah.
And if A&M has that, if they're able to turn Finley in this offense over and convert, several turnovers into touchdowns, and then you see a score sort of get lopsided, I think you might have some of the here we go again feeling, and then it could evolve. I mean, it's like you mentioned, the most cliche thing in the world, say the worst thing you could do with an underdog is let them hang around. But that's kind of the feeling with this team because LSU does have athletes and can go make plays. And if they're in the game in the fourth quarter, you never know how a ball could bounce. But it really feels, Billy, like that's going to be LSU's chance. Two more things. One, what's the crowd going to be like?
It'll be interesting because school's out. I did hear that the student ticket poll was pretty impressive and pleasantly surprising because school's done now. In this COVID year, that everybody's home now. They're done. But it's kind of like New Orleans to Baton Rouge. It's an hour from Houston, an hour and a half from Austin. So I've heard the students will be there. I think it'll be a good crowd. We'll see what the weather does to it, but it's not the crowd that Dan Mullen and Sam Pittman and company will make it sound like. It's funny how people were doing that, but no one was saying that about Notre Dame, and we saw how many of them stormed the field. But
right.
I think it'll be it's been a really good crowd. It's been a loud crowd, and I'll say this. They somehow magically find their way to the right place to be loud and to affect the game. So that part I will say is accurate. But I mean, when you're in that stadium and you look around it, you realize how cavernous and empty so many of those areas are in the stadium, particularly those two end zones. I don't think they're packing in 40,000, 50,000 people like those buffoons have said. But I do think, they've impacted games, and they do, like I said, they will gravitate and find their way en masse behind that LSU bench during the game. That's for sure.
Last thing, special teams. LSU's been really good there. It's probably why they beat Arkansas. How about A&M? How are they on special teams this year?
They've been pretty non-existent in the return game. Coverage units have been good. I think the best thing about them, the punter has replaced, Groza, not the Groza. Is Groza one? Yeah,
Ray Guy
Award. Ray Guy Award winner. He replaced him and has done a really good job in his first year. And they've got a consistent kicker in Seth Small. But really, the kickoffs with Caden Davis, I don't think they've had kickoffs and not go out of the end zone. And I'm only slightly exaggerating. I don't know how many times this year they've had a kickoff even returned, and I think they're just content to boom it out of the end zone. So coverage has been good. Returns have, like I said, A&M hasn't broken anything big in the return game at all this year. So kind of quiet special teams, solid, not spectacular, I guess I'd call it. I'll tell you the most interesting stat, Matt, for this A&M team that really jumps out at me, and I think I mentioned it, to Jimbo, and he didn't even realize it. 16 out of their last 19 trips in the end zone have been touchdowns, starting with the Florida game. Into the red zone.
The red zone,
touchdowns. Yeah. And here's the thing: the three that weren't, field goal at the end of the half on 2nd and goal from the 2 against Florida, field goal to end the game against Florida when they were just running roughshod over them. They're down the stretch to get the field goal. It was like from inside the 20. And they kneeled the ball at the 1-yard line on 2nd and goal against Mississippi State at the end of the game. That's it. Those are the 3 of their last 19 trips in there. So that's been a real key to their success as well.
Billy Liucci, TexAgs.com. Hey, man, always great to chat. Enjoy the game tomorrow. Sad we won't be there, man, but I'm sure we'll see you soon. Maybe next year for media days.
We need to catch up soon. I need to make my way down there for sure and catch up with you and Woody and the rest of the crew.
We'll look forward to it, man. Belated happy Thanksgiving, man. We'll see you soon.
All right, Matt. Thanks, buddy.
See you. That is Billy Liucci, TexAgs.com. Just the best, man. You need A&M news. Nobody more connected and does it better. TexAgs.com. All right, it's after further review. We will give you a Saints-Broncos and LSU Texas A&M pick. Let me knock out a quick break. We will come back. I want to talk a little more about LSU hoops, their win yesterday, what they have ahead tomorrow against St. Louis there in the Billiken Classic. And also we'll do our pick segment. Stick around. It's AFR.
AFR.
Brought to you by the Baton Rouge General Hospital, brgeneral.org. And very pleased to tell you, as we have been, that the Ascension Neighborhood Hospital is now open on Highway 73, brgeneral.org to learn more, brgeneral.org. That is the Baton Rouge General Hospital, where you can learn more about all of the services that they offer, how they are expanding healthcare in the greater Baton Rouge area, including the Ascension Neighborhood Hospital and ER, which are now open. brgeneral.org, brgeneral.org. Remember, they have virtual visits available, so if you are avoiding going out, but you need to see a healthcare provider, you can do that at the Baton Rouge General Hospital with their virtual visits that are available. And remember, every other part of healthcare continues, even though COVID's been such a part of our life here of late. Cancer treatments, the birth center for people who are delivering babies, all that life goes on, and the Baton Rouge General Hospital is here for you. brgeneral.org for the Baton Rouge General Hospital, brgeneral.org, part of the Mayo Clinic Care Network.
Toyotathon is happening now at Corval Toyota in Opelousas.
Get into a 20 Camry for $297 a month.
So come on down to Happy Town for Toyotathon. That's Corval Toyota in Opelousas.
Happy Town, USA!
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
To the heroes who are working tirelessly to care for our communities, we thank you. We will never forget the countless hours you dedicated on the front lines, choosing to risk your own health to fight for our friends, neighbors, and family members.
I mean, you guys are out on the front lines fighting it.
We are grateful for your heroic acts and unwavering spirit. Together, we are overcoming this adversity and make our state healthier and more vibrant again. Ochsner Health.
If I built a van, it would do more than haul.
It would carry my entire business. I'd make it available in dozens, make not thousands of configurations.
It would keep an eye on my fleet.
And an eye out for danger.
If I built a van, I'd make it available in diesel and gas. And I'd build it right here in South Carolina.
Introducing the all-new Sprinter, starting at $33,790. Built in the USA. Mercedes-Benz. Vans. Born to run.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers, offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as the bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
$10,000 off MSRP on a new 2020 Ford F-150 XLT. Buy a new one for less than a used one. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. And with Bayou to You, free delivery right to your door.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
All right, we will get to our college football picks here in just a quick second. LSU will take on St. Louis tomorrow in hoops at 2 o'clock. Of course, you can hear that on our sister station. Do you know if it's going to be on Eagle or on Tiger? Do we know?
Tiger.
So Tiger. Okay, so that's because we'll have game day. All right, so 100.7 FM, the Tiger. If you're in the greater Baton Rouge area, you can hear the basketball game tomorrow at 2 o'clock. And then, of course, LSU, our game day coverage will begin at 1 o'clock on Eagle 98.1. And then as soon as the game is over, yours truly, Jordy, will be back at Don Juan Cigar Bar for whiskey and wine. As soon as the clock hits 0, make sure you're with us from Don Juan Cigar Bar. If you can't be with us, watch us on the Watch 104.5 ESPN YouTube channel or the 104.5 ESPN Facebook page. We'll be there with a little post-game reaction to LSU, Texas A&M. Should be live around, I would guess, 9:30. Game is at 6, should end around 9:30. So full day for LSU hoops and football tomorrow. LSU basketball, a couple of things. We got to see Cam Thomas's debut. 27 points. For perspective, and Will Wade, before the season started, several months back, said that he projects Cam Thomas to be among the nation's leaders in scoring this year. Not among freshmen in the whole country. So Cam Thomas debuted last night with 27 points. For perspective, 2 years ago, the 2018-2019 season, the last time we had a full season, Chris Clemens averaged 30 a game and led the country. Justin Wright Foreman had 27 a game, was second in the country. So Cam Thomas's 27 would fall right in line with where the nation's leaders were 2 years ago, the last time it was a full season played. So now that was SIU Edwardsville. It's one game, a long season still to go, but clearly he can score the basketball, which we knew. Will Wade was on OTB earlier today, this morning, and talked about the debut from the five-star freshman Cam Thomas.
This sounds crazy, but we see that. We see that every day. It's like, oh, yeah, 27 points. All right, move on. It's uncanny, what he can do. And he did. I mean, you look at it, he was 4 of 9 from 3, 10 of 21 from the field. He took a couple tough twos that are tougher shots that we'll clean that up so his shooting percentage will be even better. But, I mean, he shot almost 50% from the field and 50% from 3. The best part is our guys have confidence. Javonte's looking for him. Trendon's looking for him. Like, those guys have confidence to get him the ball and feed him the ball.
Speaking of Trendon Watford stuffed the stat sheet last night. 13 points, 7 boards, 9 assists. I love for a guy that is that caliber of player, that he's that unselfish of a player. And he was a year ago. He's a great team guy, great energy guy. I mean, there might not have been a more vocal and, well, maybe Emmett Williams, but a vocal and energetic guy when he wasn't in the game than Trendon Watford. So bought in on everything they're doing. Here was Will Wade on Trendon Watford's night.
We had an inter-squad scrimmage a couple weeks ago. We had a triple-double. And so, I mean, that's what he's been doing. We moved him up top against the zone. We had him up top against the zone. We had him flashing into the middle. So we put him in some playmaking spots. And that was just an unbelievable pass in transition, really, to cap the game to where he hit Cam Thomas in the corner. Thought he played a tremendous all-around game. Just, he has the ball in his hands probably quite a bit more than he did last year, but I thought he made the right plays, right decisions. He got fouled. He was 9 of 10 from the free throw line. He did a great job drawing fouls and a great job finding our guys.
Will Wade on the night Trendon Watford had. Again, LSU and St. Louis tomorrow, 2 o'clock. It's a legit opponent, man. St. Louis is every bit a tournament team, and this is going to be a great challenge, be a very good measuring stick for this LSU basketball team early in the season. All right, we're brought to you by GMFS Mortgage and GMFSmortgage.com. Changing lives since 1999, GMFSmortgage.com, GMFSmortgage.com. Amazing time to refinance. The Fed has lowered interest rates to historic levels. We are seeing so many of our listeners who have called GMFS Mortgage save hundreds of dollars a month on their mortgage. And when you think about that, the thousands of dollars you will save over the life of your mortgage, why wouldn't you make this call? Log on to GMFSmortgage.com. With loan officers all over Louisiana, there's a loan officer near you at a GMFS office. Get in touch with the local loan officer nearest you and let them crunch the numbers to see if a refinance is in your best interest to help your family change your life. GMFSmortgage.com. GMFS Mortgage, changing lives. All right, let's, Muso, if you would, hit me with our college football pick'em music here. Paulie, the latest standings you had, can you pull those up, please? Because I think I went on a little bit of a run here. Now, Muse, I know you're not normally here. It's normally the brain. Terrio had a nice run early in the season. It was handling business, and it seemed as though I couldn't get on track. And then a couple of weeks ago, I had a really good day. Paulie, didn't I? I had a 6-0. 2 weeks ago, I had a 6-0 week, and
Wow.
and Terrio went 2-4. It was really unfortunate.
Both weeks he went 2-4.
Well, no, this was 2 weeks ago.
Oh,
so I pulled within 2 games of him. So I was trailing significantly. And then 2 weeks ago, I guess I got lucky. Got lucky, had a nice week. And Terrio had a little bit of a down week. So I pulled within 2. And then last week, we did the pick'em, and I'll be darned, he no-showed. So, Musa, I didn't know what to do other than...
Picks, right?
No, so I didn't know what to do other than just go ahead with the pick'em segment. You can't just not have the pick'em segment that week. So it was almost like in school when you have a test, you don't answer the question on the test. What does the teacher do?
They give you a 0 on that
Get a
question.
0. You gotta mark. You gotta put the big red X. So Paulie's gonna have to update that graphic because I don't know how I did, Paulie, but I think I had a pretty good week. I think it was pretty good. I think I was 6-0 actually.
Oh. You went.
I'll check the tape.
Okay, check the tape, Paulie. But I'm pretty sure that I was feeling it. I was in a groove. I think I nailed it again last week. I think it was 6-0 last week, Paulie. And Terrio no-showed. So that means now I was trailing by 2 if I went 6-0 and he goes 0-6. Then I'd be leading by 4. This thing changed in a hurry, didn't it?
That's not even right. You really did that to him?
I did that to him? I'm sorry. He no-showed. What he did that to our audience.
So, let me guess. You're going to do it again today, even though he was here earlier.
I got a text message at noon today. Hey, bro, I totally forgot Houston's got a football game, man. Like, first of all, how do you totally forget your kid's got a football game? Like, you kidding me? Gives me 3 hours notice on a holiday? Am I going to do this to him? You're damn right I'm doing this again, Muse.
Oh, God.
All right, first game up. Look, you know what? A couple weeks ago, Paulie, he was complaining I was picking kind of obscure games, right? That was his complaint, right?
He was.
All right, well, let's pick some games that he would actually know. All right. Ohio State, no Ryan Day.
COVID.
Huge. Ohio State on the road at Illinois. They're just a 27.5-point favorite. But Ryan Day, not there. I mean, that's got to be worth at least a field goal. I'm going to say that the Buckeyes find a way, Muse. They find a way to pull it together and get the win. Hey, Terrio, you got a pick? Oh,
Nah.
Yeah, not here.
He was earlier on the phone.
In Gainesville. How about this? We'll pick an SEC game. The Kentucky Wildcats at the Florida Gators. Been a little bit of a layoff here. And by the way, 2 years ago, Kentucky beat Florida. Last year, Kentucky was leading by 11 in the fourth quarter, Muse. And Florida had a rally to win it. I mean, I know the line's 25, but that seems outrageous. But I am still going to take the home team in this one. I'm going to take Florida in this ball game. Terrio?
Some barn burners you're picking here, Matt. Real barn burners.
Hey, Rhino, you got a pick? Oh. My bad. I forgot he's not here. Okay. Guess you're just going to have to mark that one as 0. Let's talk about everybody's favorite darling, the Coastal Carolina Chanticleers. No? You're not a fan of the Chanticleers, Muse?
Nah.
Okay. Yeah, me either. They can all kick rocks.
I like their uniforms.
Oh, they're hideous.
I like their uniforms.
They're atrocious. The field is even worse.
The field's terrible.
The teal field's
Field's terrible.
Coastal Carolina is at Texas State.
Upset? You're going with the upset?
Leaning toward an upset here, Muse. Thinking possibly this could be a spot. Wasn't Eric Mateos at Texas State for a hot minute? I think. But I'm going to go with the Chanticleers. Even though this is a tough road spot, trap game really is what it is. I mean, they're looking at 2-9 Texas State going, oh, we got this. Traditional trap spot here, Muse. But I'm going to go with Coastal.
The tough environment of Texas State.
Terrio? San Marcos. Terrio? No, he's got nothing again. All right. Bring it back closer to home again. The Iron Bowl. Gotta love the Iron Bowl. Some say the greatest rivalry in college sports, huh? Auburn, Alabama. The game's in Tuscaloosa. And Muse. No Nick Saban.
COVID again.
Greatest coach in the history of college football. You remove him. I mean, you throw out the records. You throw out the records when the Iron Bowl's played. You throw out the spread completely when the Iron Bowl's played. I don't care if the spread is 24.5. I mean, when the Iron Bowl is played and there's no Nick Saban, I mean, you got to go Auburn, right?
I think so. Is that what you're doing?
No, I'm going to take Alabama.
Okay.
In this game. I like the home team. Go with the Crimson Tide. Terrio, you got a pick?
I think Terrio would have picked Alabama there.
Well, I guess we'll never know.
Well, I mean, look,
Clemson is at home against Pittsburgh. They had last week's game canceled because Florida State chickened out. But old Trevor Lawrence is back. Feels like we haven't seen him in a hot minute.
COVID again.
Yeah. You know, I really like that Pittsburgh team. You know, Kenny Pickett at quarterback, thrown for over 2,000 yards already this season, 10 touchdowns. I really like the Pitt Panthers. But not as much as I like Clemson, just a little bit. A smidge. I like Clemson. A smidge more in this game.
Smidge and a half.
Yeah, so I think we'll go ahead with, we'll pick Clemson.
What was the spread in that one? Field goal? Clemson by field goal?
24.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Yeah, close.
Field goal plus 17.
Georgia. Let's take it back to the SEC. Georgia's on the road at South Carolina. You got to love the Gamecocks. They've been reinvigorated, a new coach. They're really feeling, never mind the opt-outs, those quitters left. Who needs them anyway? I don't care if they're going to be NFL defensive backs. Quitters is what they are. And you know what? Georgia's playing a quarterback that's only played one game. I mean, I tell you what. You really got to lean South Carolina here at home, right? Williams-Brice Stadium?
Mike Bobo going to rally the troops?
I don't see why not.
Yeah.
But I just can't pick someone whose name is Bobo. Oh. So I'm going to go with Georgia because I'm going to go with the coach named Smart instead of the coach named Bobo. That's why. Give me Georgia.
It's not right.
Terrio?
It's not right.
Anything?
It's not right.
What's not right? Is it right to leave your co-host hanging? Is that right?
I mean,
Humuse?
I feel like you could have probably moved the pick segment up for when he was here.
We had to do the letter.
Maybe cut out the Thanksgiving talk at the beginning of that segment and just do the letter and the picks?
No.
No?
That's not how it works. We do the picks in the 5 o'clock hour. We do the picks in hour 3. Muse. This is how this works. It's how this worked. This is, I mean, that's how this show does. It's been here forever, even before I was here. That's how the show went.
What? This show didn't exist before you were here.
Shut up, Muse. Nobody's going to know that. All right. How many games is that, Paulie? Is that 5?
That was 6.
That was 6. Oh, I guess we're done. Okay. Well, let's see how we do. Back next week and check on the results. It's after further review. I'll give you an LSU Texas A&M, Saints-Broncos pick. Muse will do Tigers in the pros. Stick around with us here, AFR.
AFR.
Brought to you by Clegg's Nursery. Buy local, shop local over at Clegg's Nursery. Our little Moscona family tradition intact. We went by Clegg's Nursery earlier today. We do this every Black Friday. We go by Clegg's Nursery. We wake up on Black Friday. We go by Clegg's and we pick up our Christmas tree. So success again today. There's a picture of me and Drew at the lot there at Clegg's Nursery. That's our family Christmas tree behind us. Yes, I wore a Mickey Mouse Santa Claus shirt. Drew had on a Santa Claus shirt with Santa sunglasses on as well. But look, that's our family tradition. You can certainly find yours, but Clegg's Nursery is a great partner of ours. And this time of year, if you're looking for all of your holiday decor, you want your Christmas tree, if you need your lights, real and artificial trees, indoor and outdoor decor, Poinsettia is a great selection. It's at Clegg's Nursery. Buy local, shop local. Tell them Matt sent you to Clegg's Nursery.
$10,000 off MSRP on a new 2020 Ford F-150 XLT. Buy a new one for less than a used one. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. And with Bayou to You, free delivery right to your door. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
I'm feeling good. So good. I just thought you should know.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
To all of our heroes working on the front lines of this COVID-19 pandemic, your bravery and selflessness represent the very best of us, and we want to say thank you. I'm asking everyone around the state to join me in celebrating the heroism of our healthcare professionals on the 19th of every month at 1900 hours, that's 7 p.m. Write a note of appreciation, make plans to donate to charitable organizations, or say a prayer. To learn more, visit 19thanks.org. Thank you, and God bless.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
So LSU, Alabama, next weekend. Found out that today the SEC's made it official. They'll shuffle the schedule. LSU, Bama in Tiger Stadium next Saturday night. CBS will have a day-night doubleheader next weekend, and LSU, Bama will be the nightcap. So it will be a primetime game in Death Valley with LSU and Alabama next week, and then we're expecting fully that the LSU Ole Miss game will move to December the 19th, barring any other shuffles that could take place. But I can tell you, for LSU's standpoint, they want to play every game, and certainly they want to play Bama and Ole Miss to get those two home games for revenue's sake. But for LSU, now you go the next 3 weeks, A&M, Bama, Florida, back-to-back-to-back weeks against top 6 opponents. So a challenge for, or I guess top 5 when you're talking about college football playoff rankings, a challenge for certain for LSU these next 3 weeks. All right, since we missed this earlier, Muse, Tigers in the pros.
Tigers in the pros. They still bleed purple and gold. They're just really rich now. Presented by Kentucky's Best Hemp. Find them online at kysbesthemp.com.
This story might be of a little bit of interest to you, Matt, as a matter of fact. No, different reason.
Oh.
DJ LeMahieu is going to be one of the hottest. Nope. He went to high school in Michigan. One of the hottest free agents in Major League Baseball this offseason.
Yeah.
A couple teams have already showed interest, aside from the Yankees, who are looking to re-sign DJ. The Blue Jays have made their interest known. The Washington Nationals have made their interest known. But a new team seems to be poised to throw their hat in the ring for DJ. No, I said a new team.
Nope, the Yankees.
You were close.
None of them matter. Just the Yankees.
It's the other team in New York, the Mets,
Nope.
who have lost their starting second baseman, Robinson Cano, because of a PED season-long suspension. Shout out, Robbie.
Wasting your breath.
And
not going to happen.
New owner, likes to spend money.
Wasting your breath.
Cohen,
Not going to matter.
be on the
Same with the
lookout.
Yankees.
And DJ, he said
back in pinstripe.
He likes New York. He wants to stay in New York.
With the
but
Yankees.
I mean, what if he just goes to Queens?
Because he wants to win.
And instead of
Stay in the Bronx.
staying in the Bronx.
Stay in the Bronx.
Brian Cashman, Yankees GM is still looking to re-sign DJ. Might have to give him a longer deal, though, because DJ not too keen on the 3-year, $60 million that is being discussed. So DJ LeMahieu, possibly a New York Met.
Nope.
Yep.
Nope.
Could happen.
Not going to happen.
It could, though.
You want to bet?
No, but I don't know. I don't
Paulie,
know
that's how you can always smoke out a rat.
But wait.
When you just say, hey, put your money where your mouth is, and then you know what happens? The rat runs right back into his hole.
But wait, I do think it's more probable that he does not end up back in the Bronx.
Want to bet?
Sure.
$1 million.
I don't have that. I'm sorry. Damn it. I can keep saving, and maybe one day.
$100,000.
I don't have that either. One American dollar. $1.
One Susan B. Anthony coin.
They make those anymore?
It doesn't matter if they make them anymore. You can still get your hands on one.
How? I don't know where to find that. It sounds kind of rare.
Go to a bank.
Just ask. I'm here for the Susan B. Anthony
So
coin.
you want a silver dollar?
Silver dollar. I've never had a silver dollar, actually. I never have.
Well, then go to the bank and get a silver dollar.
One silver dollar that DJ does not end up back in the Bronx.
Double it up. Go for the $2 bill.
The $2 bill.
All right. $2 bill?
A $2 bill.
A $2 bill.
A Thomas Jefferson.
Is that our bet?
That's the bet.
Bet is a $2 bill. Muse says Thomas Jefferson ends up in the Bronx.
What?
That's his bet. All right. So after further review. Is that Tigers and the Pros?
Yeah, that was
Your
Tigers
mic's
and the
not
Pros.
on. Yeah, okay.
I pulled it down.
Presented by
KYSBestHemp.com.
KYSBestHemp.com. Kentucky's best hemp. Online, KYSBestHemp.com. If I'm not mistaken, I believe they have an amazing Black Friday special going on right now. Oh, yeah. Look, there it is. 50% off everything. Everything. You don't even need the AFR promo anymore. Right now, promo code Black Friday 50. Save 50% off everything. It's, by the way, through Monday. Everything. Oil, salve, gummies, honey sticks, the dog treats that Muse gives to his dog.
Those work.
See? Of course it works. 50% off Kentucky's best hemp. Everything. Online at KYSBestHemp.com. KYSBestHemp.com. Kentucky's best hemp. All right. Let's put a button here on a Football Friday edition of AFR, which has been a strange show. Donald Spear in the Bayou Ford YouTube chat. Whoever loses pays the other one's next Kentucky's best hemp order. See, I don't like that bet because I have a whole cabinet full of Kentucky's best hemp stuff upstairs.
See, you shouldn't have said that. You should have just, even if you lose, just give me the stuff.
But I'm not going to lose.
I paid for it, and
I'm not going to lose.
Free with that.
But I'm not going to lose. That's the thing. DJ LeMahieu's going to end up back with the Yankees, and I'm not going to lose. So I want to win something from you.
A crisp $2
And since you
bill.
would not bet me $1 million, I
don't have $1
or $100,000.
I don't have that either.
You could owe it to me on debt.
No, we're not doing that.
And you could pay it off.
Then you have interest and all that.
Yes, exactly.
We're not doing that.
That's the point.
1 million turns into 2 million.
What if I lose?
Nah.
Oh,
I mean, maybe, but
see how that goes,
then
Paulie?
I'd be okay with
See
it.
how it went, Paulie? See what Muse does? Send that rat right back to his hole.
Says the guy who picked 6 games with 3 touchdown spreads.
Who's winning? I'm sorry. I think that's winning. Is that not winning? Paul, is that a winning strategy?
It's dirty, but it's winning.
Is it a winning strategy?
Yes.
Thank you. Stick around, Muse. You'll learn to win a few. It's AFR.
AFR.
Brought to you by Ichiban. Essen near Perkins Airline Highway in Gonzales. Voted by you the best sushi and best hibachi. And I tell you all the time, get by Ichiban, order you a Moscona roll, and I'm going to shout you out on the air. That's what Chad Dupuy did. Shout out at Chad_Dupuy. Sent me a picture of his Moscona roll today and tweeted me, superb. Find your favorite specialty roll tonight at Ichiban. They are open here on this Black Friday, so why cook? Why eat leftovers? I mean, leftovers are okay, but leftovers are never as good as they were the first time. So get by Ichiban, Essen near Perkins, Airline Highway in Gonzales. Make tonight an Ichiban night. And remember, from our friends at Ichiban, their newest concept, Boru Ramen. This is authentic Japanese ramen. It is so carefully crafted, and this is an authentic Japanese dining experience in Electric Depot on Government Street. It is Boru. Rediscover ramen. It is amazing. Boru Ramen on Government Street.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
If I built a van, it would do more than haul.
It would carry my entire business. I'd make it available in dozens, if not thousands of configurations.
It would keep an eye on my fleet.
And an eye out for danger.
If I built a van, I'd make it available in diesel and gas. And I'd build it right here in South Carolina.
Introducing the all-new Sprinter, starting at $33,790. Built in the USA. Mercedes-Benz. Vans. Born to run.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Ochsner.
T-Bob Hebert here with breaking news. Front to Back Boat Services is the shop to upgrade your boat tech this fall. With not one but two NMEA certified techs, who better to install your Panoptic sonar, your HD displays. You want to see the fish under the water before you even cast? They have that. Trolling motor you could control with your iPhone? They have that. So what are you waiting for? Get into Front to Back Boat Services right now. Upgrade your boat tech. Make your boating dreams come true. Front to Back Boat Services.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
You may not know about the 4Kids Foundation, but you've probably heard of the Zurich Classic. And the Zurich Classic exists because of 4Kids. But it's what happens after the tournament that really counts. 100% of the proceeds are donated by the 4Kids Foundation to hundreds of local charities, totaling more than $40 million, all to help local children and families in need. 4Kids helps kids through golf, because every child deserves a shot at a brighter future.
Hey, T-Bob, sports wouldn't be the same without the die-hard fans, so we're highlighting the fans that do it the most.
Every week, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge brings you the Citizens Bank Fan of the Week. Check it out, 1045ESPN.com.
It's the Citizens Bank Fan of the Week.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
All right, wrapping up a Football Friday edition of AFR presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar. We appreciate you for being here with us again. Hope you all had an awesome Thanksgiving. If you miss anything, AFR On Demand presented by Breck Golf. Book your tee time, golf.breck.org, golf.breck.org. They got great gift card specials right now for Breck Golf. If you're buying for a golfer on your list, check them out, golf.breck.org, golf.breck.org. All right, we'll get to what we learned here in just a second. Pick the games this weekend. I'll say today exactly what I said last Friday because I picked Arkansas to beat LSU. You should be thrilled that I'm going to pick against LSU because I've only gotten the pick correctly one time picking LSU this year. It was Vanderbilt. That's it. I picked LSU against Mississippi State like everybody did. They lost. Picked LSU against Vanderbilt. They won. I thought, okay, well, they figured out what they got wrong. And then I picked LSU against Missouri, and they lost. And then I picked South Carolina because why would anybody pick LSU at that point? And then they were incredible. So maybe they found something. They were Finley. Maybe they got the train on the track and they were going to Auburn. Remember, they were favored at Auburn. So I picked LSU. They were favored at Auburn. And they got housed. And so I was like, well, I mean, they're unraveling. Now they haven't played in 3 weeks. And they got to go on the road to Arkansas. So I picked Arkansas last week. And LSU manages to win that game. So I quit. Whatever. A&M 41-21, but that probably means LSU wins by 7. Yeah, Muse, who you got?
Yep, I got the Aggies as well.
Yeah, you're a hater, is what you are.
Yep.
I know you're kind. All you do is hate LSU. You hate Ogeron.
Yep, I hate my mater.
Yep.
Terrible.
Hate
All
him. Paulie, you got a pick?
I'll go A&M by 2 touchdowns.
Hater. Right on the spread. That a boy, Paulie. Saints, I think there's going to be a complete void of offense in this game. Saints defense is incredible. I don't think Denver can move the ball. I think Vic Fangio having film on Taysom Hill and as creative as he can be defensively and with the type of talent they have defensively for Denver, I think they really stymie the Saints offense. I like New Orleans 22-16. A game that is really just lacking in offense. But the Saints get a win. Another win, a road win, a place where they've only won once in their history. I don't think it's going to be pretty, but I don't care. Just keep stockpiling wins, maintain your status atop the NFC, get into the playoffs, get healthy with Drew Brees, and go win a Super Bowl. And that's all that I really care about at this point. So give me A&M big, and then give me the Saints in a really bad-looking football game, 22-16. That's going to do it for us here. Remember, tomorrow, as soon as the game goes final, LSU and Texas A&M, yours truly and Jordy will be at Don Juan Cigar Bar for whiskey and wine. We'll look for you there on the Watch 104.5 ESPN YouTube or the 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge Facebook page. Muse, what'd you learn?
I learned about sausage-stuffed brisket.
How about that? Paulie, what'd you learn?
Muso's hobbies do not include coin collection.
Yeah, true.
True. Matt, what did you learn?
I learned that I'm the only person that doesn't get cold in this studio. See you Monday.
AFR.
As we get on down the road, remind you about the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana, Blue Bonnet in Baton Rouge, Ambassador Caffrey in Lafayette. Online at theantiagingclinics.com, theantiagingclinics.com. Very excited to tell you, in the coming weeks, we're going to start letting you enroll for the Ideal Protein Diet Program at the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana. We're going to have a big AFR promo. So if you put on pandemic pounds, instead of waiting until the new year to start thinking about your Get Right program and that New Year's resolution, we're going to put the wheels in motion now. And we're going to have a great promotion that's going to allow you to win prizes and get you great discounts as well, all at the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana. Blue Bonnet in Baton Rouge, Ambassador Caffrey in Lafayette, and online at theantiagingclinics.com, theantiagingclinics.com. They help you look and feel like your younger self. Online, theantiagingclinics.com.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the